Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of New Book Who Dis.
I'm your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is longtime friend of the channel and repeat visitor on New Book Who Dis, Mr. Isaac Fox. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm very tired with a lot of work to do still.
Yeah, you've been working yourself to the bone, getting this one rolling, huh?
It's been, this is definitely one of the more work-intensive ones we've ever done because I haven't launched a new series in years.
I was about to say, you're launching a new series, so yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, this is a new series. We need people to like it and hop on. Plus, the next 4 issues are already in the works and halfway done, so they need to like it because we've already spent the money.
Right.
And luckily, it's been very well received so far. I'm very pleased. I'm glad people like it. If I can say it, this book was made, we've been working on it for years with the feedback. We talk a lot to our community, our Discord server and on Back the Kit and Kickstarter. We talk a lot to our community. The lovely Fox girl behind me, she's our community manager and talks to them quite a bit. And so we talked to them about things they like, they don't like, and kind of got a little bit of a better feel for that. I've often said that my job is to entertain you, but how can you entertain somebody if you don't respect them enough to take the time to get to know them? So we did that. We sat down and got to know them. And the Manti-Corps was built with that information from the ground up of what they asked for and what they wanted. I'm lucky that we have similar taste. And
it makes it easier, right?
It makes it a lot easier. In this case, the Manti-Corps is our love letter to our readers. It has everything that they've asked for and then some. It combines a bit of all the books we've done so far. It is the first book that I've ever okayed sex to appear in. Not in issue 0, but you will see it as the series continues. The rules still being no visible penetration, so you don't see anything go inside anybody, but you're going to see everything else.
Right. Well, it is an ecchi book, so yeah.
Right. Well, I'm concerned if the problem with breaking that rule is that once you do that, it's like Pandora's box. Once you open it, it can never be closed again. And the problem is that becomes not only assigned to me, it also becomes assigned to anyone whose name is on anything I've ever done. So some of those artists don't want to be involved in what we consider hentai content. So I don't do that out of respect for them, because what's going to happen, what can happen is they can be in an interview one day with a big major publisher or for a good deal for them. And they go, oh, we see here you're involved with this company. They did a hentai book. We don't like that. And that can happen. So we don't, that's one reason why I've kind of stayed clear of it. We have some special things we'll do in the Discord that are only for that, which is approved by the artists involved, of course.
Sure.
And the Discords are VIPs. They get a lot of special foxiness that nobody else does.
Well, there you go. I mean, all the more reason to join the Discord if you guys are interested in what Astral Ticket is cooking up.
On the current, so funny you mentioned that, because on the current campaign, several of those covers were far looter when they were first originally done.
Oh.
But what happened is I spoke to some people on Kickstarter who are far bigger creators than myself, who have recently censored their work very heavily. I said, well, what's going on? Well, it's because Stripe and their loving partnership with Wells Fargo have decided that anything that shows anything too sexy, they're going to have to. They have a chance of telling you they won't process your payment. You get nothing. You got funding. You get nothing.
Yeah.
So some of the guys I know, like the big boys that do a lot of really really lewd stuff, now their censors are like the entire cover's black minus the character's face. Like, you know what you're going to get.
Fucking ridiculous. Stripe can go fuck itself.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous. They've been trying to pull this shit with the fucking video games too, and Japan's like, no, fuck you.
You know the infuriating part? It's coming from an Australian group. It's not even.
I know.
We're letting foreigners tell us what we have to do with our content. Like, I don't hate foreigners. Just so we're clear. My family are immigrants too. We came over here in the 1930s as Irish, but
you don't get to dictate what adults can buy. You do not get to dictate what adults in other countries get to fucking buy if it is legal adult content. Like, you don't get to dictate. I don't care who you are.
It goes beyond that now, because now those same companies are saying who you can donate to politically and not. And that right there seems like that should be a constitutional violation.
It is, 100%. 100%.
Regardless of what side you swing on, I'm not here to judge you for that. That's not my job. My job is to entertain you. You have the right to support the side that you feel like you should support. That's what makes democracy great. That's why America has a good, should have a good system.
Yeah,
but companies
that's the whole basis for freedom of speech.
Exactly that. As long as no one's getting hurt. Now, I can understand if you were, trafficking real people to put on covers. That's a problem, and we don't do that. That's for that part of that why all of our characters are drawn, and they must look at least 23 years of age, because we don't get involved with that. But with these particular covers, because they were much foxier than they look like on the campaign page now, well, it's a waste to let that art just not do anything. So our Discord guys, if you're in there, you get a secret link to those covers where you can grab them that include Ultra Wet and Foxy, and one where one of our elf girls has the Manti-Corps unit insignia as a butt plug, and many, many other fun, juicy things.
There you go.
We're supposed to do originally, which since then have had to have panties or thongs put on.
Censorship is bullshit and stupid.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
It is the dumbest thing ever. We don't like it. It's there's very few things that permit us to come out and speak on that are controversial topics, because
it shouldn't be a controversial topic to say that censorship is bullshit.
Exactly.
That should be a thing across the board for everybody. Everybody's allowed to say whatever they want. Everybody's allowed to, build an audience and sell the books that they want. That doesn't mean you have to pay attention to it. If it's something that you don't dig, you can just move on down the road and ignore it. It's kind of funny how being an adult works.
The old media argument, I had to learn it when I was doing journalism. That the argument is that you require a guiding hand to censor everything at all times, which is not the argument I stand with. The other argument is that you remove all censors, open the floodgates, and just let it all come out. And the idea is that will happen. At first, it'll be really gross. Yes. You allow porn on public TV, you open the door. But what will eventually happen is people will speak out against it and not support it financially. And the system will then censor itself and isolate the content to places where it should be for people who are the appropriate audience.
Yeah.
And it'll itself up without the need for intervention from outside groups or government hands.
Funny how the market always seems to correct itself like that.
It will.
Yeah.
We can sit. It's something a VTuber I very much like does this. He talks about it. He said, you can sit here and you can type all you want on Twitter. You can scream on Facebook. Opinions can be argued with. Reason can be talked away. But nothing is louder than your wallet.
That is correct.
It dies. If you do give it money, it gets better.
That's what companies understand. You close your wallet, and that's your voice. What you choose to spend your money on is what continues. So choose wisely.
I see one of the comments saying ads have nudity in Europe. Yes, they do. And Europe has better consumer protection laws than we do.
Yeah, they do.
And you can write a petition in Europe to get the European Parliament to actually look at it. In America, that's not going to happen.
I mean, you can petition all you want. It doesn't mean anybody's going to pay attention.
Every single person in the U.S. could sign a petition to make something happen, and the politician would look at it and go, huh, and that's as far as it would go.
And that politician should then not get reelected.
He would think of the politician, again, not saying anybody's names, would think about it and go, I could run on this platform. And then they say they're for it, and then the company who's against it writes them a check, and nothing ever happens.
Yeah, I've had these discussions with people before. I am very much of the opinion that that shit should not happen. There should not be...
That is a common opinion on all sides of the... everybody's on each side of the spectrum. They all pretty much agree, that should not... You should not be able to pay to make things happen.
No, that's bullshit. Lobbying, lobbyists, that shit needs to be outlawed 100%.
But
things would get a lot better.
People who have to outlaw are the people making money off of it, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, we've got to find a way to stop it because it's horse shit. What's not horse shit is the fact that we do have a chat. We got a chat here. We got my esteemed co-host on topic list, Mr. Jason Bascom, Unhinged Ent. He says it's not live. Lies! Well, we're live now, so we're not lying. Got Omer Glitch in the chat. Hello there. Well, hello, Omer. Good to see you. Tank! He says, hail to all you magnificent bastards and bastards. And he's, well, we're waiting. So late. Yeah. There's my beautiful lady. Skull, gorgeous.
I put in the private chat. If you can send me a link to the show, I'll throw it in my server really quick.
Oh, absolutely, man.
We are actually, because the reaction to this book has been so much more positive than we expected, been very strong actually. We are one of our artists right now is working on a special thank you cover that will be made available in this campaign.
That's awesome.
It'll be Yuri, because we've had a lot of requests for some Yuri, and Azumi goes, I think the dark elf is really hot. I want to kiss her. I went, we can make that happen. I think we can do that. We can definitely do that. Part of the point of this story, if I'm allowed to go into crazy detail,
Sure.
I've had some people talk about this recently. I've had to correct things a few times. People saying like, well, I don't really like a war story. You don't have to like a war story. That's the fantastic thing about Manti-Corps. I intentionally did this book. This book it's a high fantasy World War I style story. But the war is an excuse to send our team on adventures, and it's much more like a D&D campaign as opposed to hardcore like Tom Clancy military literature. We're not doing that. In fact, when you see issue 0, you will realize that the characters are massively incompetent, so them being hardcore military people would make no sense. It's much more like a Vox Machina or any kind of Dungeons and Dragons campaign where your characters are thrown together. You have missions to do, but
not really any kind of military precision behind all this.
No. Part of the rule that I have for the series is inspiration I took from some of the Looney Tunes writers. The Manti-Corps is never allowed to win by being that good. They have to win by happenstance, something crazy happening, or what them doing is so off the wall that the enemy has no idea how to react to it. It can never be like, oh, we're just good enough to make the shot. No, this is not Call of Duty. This is not Rainbow Six. This is people who are, none of them are particularly good at their jobs. The only one who is actually the big red Oni lady behind me, who's a draftee and hates the fact that she's there. So she can be good at it, but she has to hate it.
Right. For some reason, my comments are not updating in StreamYards. Yay, StreamYards!
I wonder why they stopped there.
That's awesome, StreamYards. Thank you for,
Of course, it's not going to work when you want it to. Why would it? That's the way everything is.
I mean, what do I pay for this service for again? Lord.
Oh God, yeah, I'd be very angry.
It's. I'm resizing. I'm closing the comments, opening the comments. It's just not showing up. So guys, I can't highlight your comments apparently because it's just not moving.
I can probably pull it up on the YouTube here and see them that.
Well, I have it up on the YouTube over here so I can read it. Some person wants to know when are you doing a collaborative book with Bill Mouse? Are you familiar with Bill Mouse?
I am not.
He does Nira X, and he draws some sexy fine ladies. That's for sure.
I've been taking a different approach. What happened when I first started in this, I was lucky enough to work with some people who were very well known. What really took me off was Artgerm. Told people to come look at my work, and that was the big step forward for me. But generally speaking, I tend to work with people who are more on the independent side, and I recruit a lot nowadays from the hentai world. We don't make that ourselves, but those are artists, those style of artists guys we work with a lot now.
Right. Well, I mean, to be fair, your audience probably is familiar with those artists as well.
I think like you and I were talking about Cute Sexy Robots. Yeah, it's the same kind of vein of like he's not a hentai artist. He's more of he does some of that, but mostly what he does is more celebration of beauty and form. That's kind of what we're more into. You'll see on the Manti-Corps now, one thing that I've tried to do is that I stopped with just a straight up pinup cover. I want to be a little more dynamic, more action based, more logical. Right. So we have like one cover that's got Azumi on it. You see Booba, but her outfit's torn up. She's been fighting something. Right. Like, let's face it, we've all seen Dragon
action
Ball Z.
Boba.
We've all seen Dragon Ball Z. Goku's shirt gets torn up every time. That's fan service.
Oh yeah,
it is. It's straight fan service. We can do the same thing. It's just that our characters have a different type of chest than Goku does. That's been kind of a new thing to focus on. Let's make it a little more actiony, a little more logical. Because why would a character just be hanging out naked like in their kitchen? It's like sitting on their stove. That doesn't make sense. It's cool, but
I can think of several reasons. I mean,
if I was going to do that, I would do more so like the characters cooking, apron drop down, and wiping sweat from their brow. And they're all nice and glistening with some sweat as they're cooking, and it gets hot in the kitchen, so you take your shirt off to cool off a bit.
Never experienced that in the kitchen at all, ever.
It's great until the grease pops and hits you. It's like, oh,
Yeah, no. Never, ever, ever, ever cook bacon naked, unless you're willing to jump back real quick at a moment's notice. Matt LaRock did say when he was selling books through his LCS, he got the censorship as boobs meant the book being held behind the desk, but now he just doesn't care. And Feline says, "Wait, you don't do that?"
There are.
What?
It depends. See, it's been a weird thing now because I'm aware of some bigger comic book shops that won't carry anything that has that kind of content in it, which is shocking considering one of the best-selling series in comic history now is Saga, which goes extremely risque to the point where I don't really curse when I'm wearing company logos, but the first line of the series of Saga is, "Am I shitting? It feels like I'm shitting."
Yeah, I mean, there used to be Vertigo. Like there used to be like, my God, there used to be like, I don't know, an edge to like indie comics or like it's not superheroes, it's not these mainstream characters. Why the hell are you worried about it? Just make sure you don't sell it to kids and you're good. That's really all it takes. Like be mindful of who is buying the damn book. It's really all you got to do. See if this will.
It comes down to individual responsibility, which
nobody wants to be responsible.
No, you just hand your kid an iPad and walk away. And it's like you and I are close to the same age. We grew up with the internet. Kind of. I got it when I was in like high school.
Yeah, I remember the world before the internet. I remember the world before it went digital.
And I have friends who have kids who can do stuff. And I worked in IT, and they can do stuff on a computer to find things that I can't do. You're not child-proofing anything unless you watch the kid. You're just not.
Yeah. Unless you're going to go into the router and block off specific websites, and even that you're going to continuously have to update, that list.
Matter. You've seen how Florida now has you have to prove who you are in order to get into certain adult sites now.
Sure.
Cool. First off, the sites have already said that's not secure because they get hacked all the time. That's a problem. Number two, you will never have a complete list of all the sites you can get this kind of content on because that list is ever expansive. And you can just go into a Discord server. You can just go onto Reddit. You can just go into a billion places to get it easily.
Set up a VPN and boop, done.
Even then,
perfectly fine. There are, for every measure there's a countermeasure, and for every countermeasure there's a countermeasure. So there's always a way around this stuff.
You ever seen Outlaw Star?
No, but you have recommended it to me a couple of times.
Part of the point of that series is that the criminals are always a step ahead, and they're always more imaginative and smarter than the law. And what happened? That series goes what if they had the resources of the law but the brains of the criminals? Well, you built something that's absolutely amazing. That's kind of where we're at now. You're never going to get past what the people who are conniving are going to do. It's just not right. You're not. Cybersecurity now is a really good career if you have the experience and the intelligence and all that to do it.
Yeah, I have a buddy that does cybersecurity.
Then I'm sure he knows that the second you figure out how to block something, you wait a month and the guys have figured out a whole new way around it, and your job is permanently secure because of that.
Oh yeah, that is definite job security. It's also tedious, and if he wasn't already bald, he says that he would be pulling his hair out. So
yeah, that's about right. It's supposed to be the criminals. I hate to use the term criminals. The scoundrels are always going to be one step ahead no matter what. Sure. And the internet's living proof of that in a lot of ways.
I agree. What's up, Creators Outlet? Welcome. And let's see, Jump, I'm in a wheelchair, right? No, I did not know that. So don't cook bacon naked. Tank says cooking bacon naked makes you stronger, though. I would think that perhaps it makes you blistered, but to each their own. Some person says never give them a computer. Here's a sketchbook and crayons. Have fun. That's one way to do it. Encourage.
I don't have kids though, so I'm not an authority on this one.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, I'm good. More power to you if you can do it, but I'm good.
Yeah, no, I have friends that have kids, and I can give them back to their parents.
My house intentionally has naked waifu artwork and stuff around the house, so they don't bring their kids over. It's intentional.
I always have to warn my family members, like who have kids. I mean, thankfully, most of their kids aren't like super young anymore. But I always have to warn them that I will swear around your kids, and it's not intentional. It's just how I speak. So I'm apologizing ahead of time.
It takes a while to train yourself to not. Like I had to teach myself coming from a Navy family of cursing to not do that. Like anytime the logo's on, like don't watch what you say. You have to say things a certain way. You're representing the family, represent it properly, or if you don't, we'll kill you. So yeah.
Well, there you go. My grandfather was in the Army. He was in the Army motor pool. So I learned the colorful language very young, especially going on road trips. There are still tapestries of profanity that are hanging above the highways in Indiana to this day that my grandfather wove.
That's about accurate of what I've known from my buddies who were in the military, especially if they were, like you said, and you guys in the armor were especially mouthy.
Oh yeah.
to put it quite commonly, like I know at least one of my friends who was he was a tank commander, came back and he got in trouble at work. You can't say that, and he goes, "Why?" "Oh, right, I'm not. You guys don't respond to that as well." Okay, because he was saying like, "Why the f would you do this?" to people all the time. Like that doesn't. You can't say that in an email. You can't walk up to somebody and say that in an office. Why?
But this is real. Oh, okay, fine.
Used to a very different environment entirely.
Right.
Or Manti-Corps actually one of my buddies in the Marine Corps advises on it. Make sure that we have things that are pseudo accurate. I don't want it to be totally militarily accurate because it's not that. It's like this isn't Tom Clancy's story, but just some things make sure like this makes sense. Like but then hearing how like he mentions people talk around him, like he's soft spoken, but the guys around him I hear just like it's every other word.
Tank Ferret says us tankers have a special language composed of nomenclature and obscenities. Sounds about right.
Considering you're inside a steel box that is where everything you fight is not designed to destroy the steel box, it's designed to punch into it and destroy you. I would imagine, the language is going to get pretty colorful in that moment. You're not going to be like, "Oh man, my pee-pee hurts." You're probably not going to say that. You're going to be like, "Well, I can't say the things they would say," but yeah.
Right. I mean, I can't imagine. Being stuck inside of a tank like that, man.
I think you and I are too tall.
Yeah, probably.
I know there's several things that when I many years ago I talked to the Army, like, "Yeah, you're too tall for like half the stuff we want. You would want to do." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, no, there's certain cars that I can't fit into either, being this tall. So yeah.
There are certain ones like, "I want a sports car." I'm like, I've driven Corvettes and Lamborghinis and Vipers, and getting out of it hurts, painful. It's not. I like crawl out of the car to get like, no, I don't like this at all. Just give me a regular vehicle, please.
See, I drive a Veloster, and it may be low to the ground, and kind of and definitely a sports car with a hatchback, but at the same time, there's plenty of leg room in there. There's no room in the back seat behind me, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. When it's just me and Feline riding in my car, it doesn't matter. Put the seats down and have plenty of room to stow the stuff that we need to stow back there. It's not made for people to be in the back seat. That's for sure. It is more of an idea of a back seat.
Relatable.
Yeah.
If it were up to me and I could get a new truck right now, which they're hellishly expensive, I don't want it to even have back seats. It doesn't need it. I'm not worried about that. It has a bed. I'll put it back there. I don't haul anybody around outside of myself for the most part anyways. Maybe one other person, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't exactly. I don't have anybody in my vehicle really except for Feline, and that's only when I go up and visit her. So
I can recall my mother always demanding to buy the biggest SUV she could. Well, because when the family's together, like, that happens once a year on Christmas. You don't need this giant bus to drive around everywhere.
No. What's up, Woodrow? God, I really wish that the comments would update so I could actually,
Yeah, I have to keep turning my monitor to look at it.
Yeah. Woodrow, what's up, man? He says, hail the chat from the drive home. And there's only one door to get into the back seat. That's true. My car only has 3 doors. So yeah, instead of 4 doors, there are only the 3. But yo, what's up, J-Bot? Good to see you, sir. StreamYards,
I think
failed
that's
me.
one of my guys. Actually, I'm not sure. No, that's one of your guys. No, never mind. One of my guys' names is Jay, and his mascot is a robot. So it's like, is that Jay?
Oh, well, that's Jay Vasquez, Mighty Bot Studios. Got to meet him at
nice.
Heroes Con this year. He's one
Oh,
of our usual dudes. He's a good dude. Draws
What's your
some
next
really
show, man?
awesome stuff.
What's your next con?
PlaqueCon in November.
Palaka has cons. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's this is going to be their 3rd year. I was there last year. It's a pretty small little con, but it's a cool little show, man. Put on by what is the guy who goes by T, and he's got like a little comic shop out in Palatka.
Honestly, the smaller shows I think I kind of like a bit more.
Yes.
I haven't done Mega personally. Like I've been to it, but colleagues who have been have told me, like, if you go to the bathroom, it can take you over 2 hours to go from your table to the bathroom and back.
Bro, I'm not going to waste my time with MegaCon again, to be honest with you.
I keep hearing nothing but bad things about it now. In the last like 3 or 4 years, there's nothing good I'm hearing about Mega.
Yeah, no, it does not. It doesn't do anything. I mean, it the last time I was there didn't get any traction on the stuff that we were doing. Didn't really sell anything. Definitely didn't make my table feedback. So, I mean, what's the point? I mean, if I'm going to go there, then it would be just, hey, there's an artist there that I really want to get something signed, or maybe I would go there to do interviews again. 2023, I was at MegaCon to do interviews, and that was fun. I got to interview Jim Shooter, which was amazing.
Nice.
Of course the camera crapped out, but the microphone actually captured all the audio, so I was able to go back the next day and get a picture with Jim. He was such a cool, courteous guy, and he was very happy to have a conversation about comics because he clearly loved comics. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know that I would go back as like rolling the dice to see if I could make any money at the convention with a booth. It's just there's too many people there, and the people that are coming to the convention, they're there for cosplay, or they are there to spend money on the big name artists rather than take a chance on an indie creator. Maybe someday.
That's where sales becomes a thing. I got lucky. No, I don't say lucky. I'm good at sales and I hate sales.
Mm-hmm.
I have the luxurious gift of being good at a thing I absolutely hate.
Yeah, well, at least it works for you, man. At least you're able to make your bread doing it.
This is true. It does pay the bills. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah. It's just a time of, like, I don't know, one day if you're with me at a con, there's things that I do that I've learned how to do.
Yeah.
2 ways I learned how to make money at conventions. The first was I used to know a guy. I know a guy who sells T-shirts for a convention. What he does, he goes to cons and he sells T-shirts, and that man could sell porn to a nun. Like, he is just one of the best salesmen I've ever seen in my life. And I just sat down and watched him for a day. Like, dang, you just read people perfectly and know what they want to hear. Like, he's not lying to you,
right?
You never ever lie to the customer. You never do that.
No,
but you tell them what they want to hear, which is what every company does.
Right.
Like, okay, that's pretty good at that. And then you come from a background where at a point in time I sold drugs, so you learn how to do that too. So
yeah, it's all about hustling, and I get that. I get that. I mean, I worked for an artist in Orlando, and I learned how to be the carnival barker at the convention and whatnot. It's just location at conventions as well. Location is crucial.
It's not just that. Well, yeah, at a con, your spot's everything. Like, people who've done Mega have told me if you don't pay for a corner booth, you're wasting your time. And
yes, that has been my experience.
That's what I've heard. That, or you got to be like really eye-catching and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried it myself, so I don't know. Never done one that big.
To be fair, now that I think about it, the last time I went, I did not have my print wall. to set up, and I didn't have my banner. So it might be worth it to try it one more time now that I have like a print wall, and I will have books, and I've got my first sketchbook out now, and I will have copies of Mercenary Guild here soon. So
Nice.
maybe it might be worth it to try it again at some point. If I can get in.
Definitely seems like there's something about it that is about. What am I trying to say here? Figuring out how you get your displays to work makes such a weird difference. Like, it's very strange to me how you can have a thing at one angle, but you think it looks good and you don't do well, and you change it like 5 degrees to the left, and all of a sudden people are coming to your table. Oh
yeah, catching them eyes as people walk by.
It is. That's why, like, when we do Ancient City, I'm really grateful that I get the spots that I do. Because sometimes there's some spots.
When is the next Ancient City, by the way?
This year it's in September, I think. August.
In September. Okay.
No, when is it? That's okay. Hold on. When is it? Now I'm confused.
Okay. Well, while you're looking that up, I'm going to say hi to Tim Olson. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. Let's see. Feline, drop the link for Manti-Corps number 0. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. I would absolutely highlight it if StreamYards didn't suck. Let's see.
It is September. It's early September.
Early September. Okay.
So doing this year.
Feline says, "What? Being on the back wall next to the men's bathroom isn't a good place." Yeah, it didn't really do much for us.
If you have certain kinds of content, that might work.
Not the content I had.
There are artists that I've picked up from conventions to do some work with us solely because they were so different than everybody else that was there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lady we worked with for a while who I found her at Mega, and the reason I recruited her was that she had a drawing of. She had a piece of Leo Forte from one of Steel Trigger's movies. I never can get the name right. In like a sexy little cowboy outfit. I never see anybody draw cute boys like that. Nobody does that.
Right.
And there's a market for it, but nobody does it. Cool. Get with me and let's do something like that. And we did, and it sold really, and we did that and it sold really well.
There you go.
Like, yeah, it's because nobody does that because nobody thinks
catering to a market that is underserved.
I work now with an artist named SRX Nico 97. He's one of my internal guys. He works on covers for us. But his main thing is he does primarily hentai, specifically yaoi hentai. Warning for that, and it's in the back of my binder, the 18+ binder for conventions.
Right,
and it always does really well because nobody else is selling that. Nobody else offers it, and conventions are places where people who are into that kind of content show up.
Yeah, because conventions are a place for everybody and anybody.
It's supposed to be an environment where anybody can come and be accepted and enjoy what you want to enjoy. As long as you're not doing anything crazy, no one's going to mind. And that's always been my experience. I've never seen anybody getting like yelled at. Or
be kind, be courteous, and let everybody else enjoy what they're enjoying, and just have a good time. It's really not hard.
It's not, and I've never really
What's up, Ray?
Being a jerk at a convention. The most I've ever heard of now is like some cons now are checking IDs for cosplayers, which I'm kind of into. I'm kind of all for, considering that even Ancient, I've had some people come up going, "Oh, you have naked girl art? Can I see it?" And they'll be in a very revealing costume. Like, "Are you 18? No. Go change." And then
first of all, go change, please.
And then you can buy the clothed versions. But why are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Once I agree with that, honestly. Like,
why are you wearing?
Why are you all so in such a hurry to grow up? Like, enjoy being kids. You don't get it back. You don't get it back.
Dude, I've walked by conventions now and heard like kid. I say kids, I mean like 12 to 14, discussing on whether or not they're tops or bottoms. I'm like, kid, you don't know what that is. I didn't know what that is at your age. I just wanted to play Power Rangers. Go do that. You don't need this. Trust me, you don't want to be part of this yet. This sucks. This is confusing.
Being adult is not all it's cracked up to be, kids.
No, it is not. Being I prefer being an adult to being a kid.
Sure, but that's because you've learned how to navigate being an adult.
more freedom,
more or less.
I have a lot more power as an adult. As a kid, it was like you just have to receive whatever's given to you, and you don't have much of a choice.
Right.
It was Ancient City that one year when I had that girl come up dressed as Mary with a succubus. She was like, "Oh, you have to girl marks? Can I buy it?" I was like, "No." Like, your character, yeah, she's a hentai character. You're not 18, and you're dressing as a hentai character.
Yeah,
okay. I'm
it's
not
a
your
little
dad,
uncomfortable.
So yeah, well, apparently one of the guys at the show was her teacher, and I told her what she was dressed as. And in the show, he was chewing her out, and apparently he told me, like, yeah, her friend had to chase guys off because people were asking her if she would do things from the animations. Like, that's not a question you should get at 16 years old from adult men.
God.
That's not the thing that should be happening.
Yeah.
Which is why
I mean, the adults should, keep themselves under control as well. Don't be a lecherous freak.
We did one con here in Jax one year where there was one of my friends who worked for a major vendor. She comes over and goes, "Hey, see that girl over there? It's just this lady dressed as Tifa Lockhart, which it was covered. She was sensible,
right?
Still kind of a sexy character, but it was appropriate. But she's walking around the sign saying free hugs, and my friend goes, "Yeah, she's 14." That is,
just stop it with the free hugs thing. Like, knock that off.
Apparently, cons have banned that in part because of underage. And apparently, I don't know how true this is, but I've been told that also is being used as an excuse to pickpocket people.
Most of the time, it's been my experience anyway. The people walking around with the free hug signs, they often have very bad BO too.
Well, especially in Florida where it's 1,000 freaking degrees outside, dude. So it's like it's so hot by the time
looking at you, MegaCon.
I don't even want to, dude. The first time I went to Mega, I saw this lady, kind of a big girl, in a full-on May from Overwatch cosplay, walking towards the con, doubled over, red in the face. Like, lady, take that off and go sit down inside. You must not be from Florida because you're gonna die. You're actually gonna have a heat stroke and be in the hospital.
Heat stroke is a real thing.
Put on the costume when you get there at that point, because May's outfit's like a winter coat and stuff. It's kind of heavy. Like, put that on when you get there, because it's going to be 107 degrees out here with a 97% humidity. You're going to die. Walking in shorts and a t-shirt and a hat, I'm dying, and I'm from the heat.
Yeah, used to this shit. Some person says, Luke, hire a lady to dress like a character in Mercenary Guild to give out flyers to your booth and website. I will maybe do that when I have a book of my own. That's not a bad idea. I mean, the booth babe is a time-honored tradition. I mean, they used to do that at E3 all the time up until E3 up and died. Yep. Failed parents.
A lot of things, man.
Yeah.
But we're trying. I'm starting to do more conventions now. So it's doing one in Georgia later this year, and there's Ancient City. I think there's another one in Jax. We're doing 2 in Jax, one in Jax, 2 in St. Augustine. I'm trying to get into it. I'm waiting on them to call us back. My rep reached out. We're actually going to call them. We're trying to get into Ecchi Expo in Orlando because apparently they're doing one in Orlando now. It's like, well,
I mean, that's like right up your alley. Then that's like the perfect venue for you.
Expo in Florida without grabbing the number one Ecchi publisher on the East Coast. That makes no sense, guys. Come on.
Husbandos and waifus equals sales, says Tank.
We do both. We believe in what I like to call equal opportunity fan service. To jump over to the Manti-Corps, to steer back towards that, we actually have a character in that named Sally, who's a demi-human cat. We never say what sex Sally is. They're always referred to as they. And then when we do get into the book, this book will have actual sex scenes in it. You don't see penetration, but you see many other things.
Right.
We always cover the crotch, so you don't know what's down there. So the idea behind this was, my job is not to tell you how to think. That's not what I do. I'm not here to preach to you or shove anything down your throat. That's the character's job, to get things down their throat, not yours. So the idea behind the character was, if you want this to be a small-chested cat girl, that's what you have. If you want it to be a femi cat boy, it is. It's entirely your choice, whichever one you want. We don't say either way. We don't do any covers or anything with that character to make you think in either direction. And when we do show them with the top off on covers for Kickstarter, we censor the top just in case.
Right.
Which still begs the question, can you censor a female nipple with a male nipple? Since we can show off our chest publicly, but they can't. Does that work that way? No,
that's a good question. I just want to address this real quick. Feline, you'll always be at my booth, baby. You'll always be at our booth. I don't know what you mean you can't be at the booth. That's just ridiculous. Always got my booth, babe. Just ask Morb if he wants. No, some person. That's terrible.
It was the last ancient that you and I were at that I actually had my partner with me. I'm like, oh, this is actually way less stressful with someone like I can trust with the booth and walk away. And they
Yeah.
they used to do sales for their job. So like I saw them like doing like the full on sales pitches and so like, oh my God, you learned how to do this and you can step into this role. This is great. I don't have to be quite as exhausted. Those conventions are very tiring, especially as we
They are. They are very taxing. They're exhausting, and it always helps to have a partner to help you.
I love people that go, but for those who who always just go as a regular attendee, you're having fun. We're at work. That's job. So we sleep less. You get almost no food. You get less to drink, and you have to be on for 10 plus hours at a time. And then by the time it's over, I felt bad for like we used to do Ancient because I used to do the burlesques and stuff, and I would get invited to those. Like, yeah, I want to go, but the con ends. I just go. I just got to go take a shower and pass out. Like, there's no way. I don't have any strength to do this. I have got to just. I'm done. I'm dead.
Yeah, Heroes Con would have been a lot more stressful and a lot less fun had I not had Feline. The one in Charlotte, yeah. I mean, it's a great show, but both times I went, I have had this wonderful lady here with me, and yeah, it's been a fantastic time.
I have heard
she helps me keep going.
Good things about that show.
Yeah. It's a show that celebrates comics and it celebrates creators, writers, artists. It celebrates this whole art form. There's no celebrities there. The celebrities are the comic creators. So it is a comic book show for sure.
I like comic shows. Anime shows tend to be better. I've never.
Well, I mean, that's your audience, man.
Well, I've never done one. It's not per se my exact thing, but I have been told by people I know who are furries that I should do a furry show. And that would go well for me.
Yeah.
My partner's a furry. And it's like, go to a furry show, go to a furry con. Like, I've never been to a furry show. I'm not against it. I'm not against furries.
Right.
I'm dating one. I can't say anything bad about them, obviously. my editor's a furry, and we work with some of my artists are furries. We work with a lot of them. And the Manti-Corps, if you want to go to the Kickstarter page, it will tell you that at a point in time, furries may show up because this is a massive fantasy universe. So everything is on the table. I am planning to give them a mission where they will have one thing this book does. It's 4 team members, but occasionally we get a 5th guest can come in for a mission or two or hang out for a bit. Right now, the first mission they're going on, they get a really sexy goblin girl who joins, and she's might be my new favorite like waifu of all time. She's so hot. But you're gonna love her. Well, we can have a furry race and have a mission they do with a furry character that joins. Why not? And part of what we wanted to do with this is I tried to do some things different from how fantasy is normally done.
Right.
Our elves are always this high British snobby kind of people. And I was like, well, what if my elves were Cajuns? What if they were just Louisiana Cajuns? So we gave them that. And
I don't know if you've ever read any of the Monster Hunter books, but by Larry Correia, they're really good books. They're really good, urban fantasy.
The Monster Hunter, like the Capcom games?
No, Monster Hunter International.
Gotcha, okay.
And the elves in that series, they are trailer park royalty.
See,
it is a funny change of pace. Yeah.
I like that it's different. In the Manti-Corps, our main human nation is actually Native American. So our human girl is Native, inspired by Native Americans. I mean, it doesn't look quite exactly like it. In defense, it's very hard to explain to artists what Native Americans look like because we never see them in media at all.
Right.
And most depictions of them in anime are stereotypical, might be the right term. I don't know what term to use for that. Very particular look about them.
Right.
You Dragon Ball. I don't know. And I don't know what's okay and what's not. So I'm like, let's just go ahead and use that as the inspiration and go with what we want to do. Our
pay homage to.
Exactly. Well, both my great grandmas were full blooded, so I'm like, I want to kind of respect that.
Of course.
Our demi-humans are Vikings, so you get the Norse.
Yes.
Dude, you're gonna love this. Have you ever played Marvel Rivals?
No, I haven't played Marvel Rivals. I've seen a lot of the artwork from it, though.
Have you ever played League of Legends?
No. I've seen again. I don't get to play video games anymore. Like I try to keep abreast of the video games, but I don't really get to play them all that much anymore.
The point being that the guy who voices Moon Knight Marvel Rivals, Eric Bra, who's a friend of mine, a professional voice actor in League of Legends. He's been in some Nintendo stuff. He's been in World of Warcraft. He's been in some anime. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's also, if you go to the page, the song, the bard singing, that's him. He sings the bard song.
Speaking of the page,
and he's actually in the comic itself as a Viking character because Erik Brø is in fact of Viking descent. Like, dude, I'll put
with
you
a
in the
last
comic.
name like that, yeah, that's
yeah, I mean, big surprise, right?
I know that I saw it on here, and we're going to take a look at the trailer here just
if
a
you're looking for
second.
celebrity guest appearance on the bottom, you can look at Kickstarter. Thankfully, now has the quick navigation where you can just jump around to things. I really appreciated that.
Ha! I didn't realize that. There you go.
Nobody knows it's there.
Well, I didn't realize that's what that did. You know, I thought it was just
Nobody
keeping
knows.
tabs.
I use Kickstarter on the daily, and I didn't know for the longest time that's what that did. Like, oh, you can just hop to where you want to go. This is nice. No one knows that exists. I felt
That's awesome.
bad.
That will absolutely help instead of constantly scrolling. Fantastic.
Especially with a campaign like ours, which is a lot on the campaign page. I don't want you to. The idea was always been that anybody can hop on Kickstarter on our campaign and know what you want and how to get it in 5 minutes max. That's always been the idea.
It's a good
if
call.
You want to do the extra reading to learn about messages from me or what we're doing, that kind of stuff, you can absolutely. But if you want to just get what you want and go, well, this is a come and go. And in this case, spell come however you want.
Some person says seeing all those sexy ladies, and then bam, a heavily bearded Viking.
Well, I mean, we're all into something. I mean, you like what you like. Everybody's into something.
Here, we'll scroll right back up
kind of
here.
bad at first because the character he took over, I was like, that guy's kind of a jerk when you first. He's got a good reason to be, but he's
right.
Eric's like the nicest, gentlest man I've ever met. Like, well, in this universe, your guys, you're yelling at your healer because he's not healing people, which makes sense to be mean about. Like, hey, our guys are being stabbed and the healer's just high in the back somewhere. Get over here, do your job, or I'll beat you with a stick.
Okay.
Manti-Corps is going to be a lot. It's a lot of fun in the sense that it's combining everything that I've done. I've been in comics now for 11 years. I've been in professional entertainment for 15 years. I'm apparently I am told I look much younger than I really am, which is great. And thank you for the way you told me that.
It means you're aging gracefully. There you go. That's good.
The last interview I did, the host got mad at me that there was no gray in my beard. Like, why do you not have that yet? I'm like, I don't know how old you think I am.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Not that old quite yet.
Right.
Oh, did it not update with the short video? Oh no. Or is that an old link, I wonder?
I don't know. I'm down underneath here because the first video is up here.
Okay, no, that's fixed. Okay, yeah. Well, we made a series of shorts that are gonna go that we upload one daily to our YouTube and Instagram. They're little short animations. Yeah. And now, like, oh, I need to put this on the campaign page. We'll swap them out every day. So there's supposed to be, I'm looking at, I get one above that video, but they're not a big deal. There's little YouTube shorts we made, little reels, like less than 10 seconds to say, hey, look, Manti-Corps exists. Get a copy. Buy it. It's good. You'll like it.
Speaking of videos, let's go ahead and take a look at your trailer here. Look at the animation. Nice.
When all that's left of this endless war are broken, heavy hearts, and we need something so much more than the sum of all its parts. As calm as the mountain that never bowed to the storm, as wild as the bayou at the base of its mighty form, as cold as the summit, its frosted and frigid peak, as hot as the fire that burns deep beneath. Who is all this and more? The Manti-Corps. The Manti-Corps.
Hi guys, I am Isaac Fox. I am the writer and creator of most things you see coming out of Astral Ticket Comics. But today, we're going to talk about the Manti-Corps. This is a new series from us. So, we at Astral Ticket, we believe our job is to entertain you guys. But how can you entertain somebody if you don't respect them enough to talk to them and understand them? So So for the last couple of years, my team and I have been in our Discord server, here on Kickstarter, and over on BackerKit, doing just that, talking to you guys and polling you guys. In a lot of ways, the Manti-Corps is our love letter to you. This is a 36-page comic consisting of 5 chapters, with each chapter done by a different artist or colorist, or a combination of. You'll be seeing a lot more of these characters, as this is an ecchi series, so take a look at the campaign below, because the Manti-Corps wants you.
Nice statues, by the way, in the background of that video. That was cool, man.
It was, I've never appeared in a video before. My objective was always to be the guy behind the curtain nobody ever sees. But
right.
Do that. And
nope, not anymore.
Somebody we worked with, who I know who does a lot of like social media and cosplay stuff, was like, look, you need to show to people that you are all about what you're doing. And part of to do that is you need to let them see like who you are. So like when you have a collection of all those fashion figures you have, somehow get those in a video. Let people see like this guy is all about the waifu content. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Well, I mean, it connects with the audience, because you know that the audience they have that kind of stuff as well. You know, fans.
Do you want to buy a comic
things
from a guy who's doing it for the money? Do you want to buy like let's use let's say like these Monster Girls for an example, right? Which an Oni chick over here, that's a Monster Girl. Do you want to buy a book about Monster Girls from a guy who wants a paycheck, or do you want a guy about Monster Girls from a guy who's got a tattoo of a Monster Girl on his arm?
Somebody that actually cares,
loves what he's doing. So you can like that. Yeah, I would rather go with that guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So I have those kind of tattoos. So,
well, there you go. I mean, see, and as I've said multiple times on a bunch of different streams, like doing this indie comics thing, we're not just selling our book. We're not just selling a product. We're selling ourselves. You know, we're selling, you know, our brand, and we are our brand. You know.
Absolutely we are.
And in this, that kind of thing encourages people to, you know, get to know us at the same time as they're getting to know, you know, the brand that we're putting out, you know, and it encourages community, which I think is great.
Well, I'll put this real quick since we're on this topic. If you are looking at my comics and you're like, I don't know if this guy is legit. First off, go look at my past, like what, 15 campaigns, look at the comments and you'll see it. But if you're thinking like, is this guy like, does he just do this? Did he just write this book because everybody wants naked waifus? No, man, that was not. We are all about what we do here. This is my entire life. Like, literally, this is my entire life. This is all I do. Yeah, I don't want to do
live
anything
for this. Yeah,
like and my office. I got to the point now when I stopped buying anime figures and stuff. I used to collect them.
Yeah.
Like, well, why would I buy somebody else's characters? I have my own. Let me just instead. Well, this is gonna close on. She got close on. Why don't I just make the camera's not gonna pick this up at all? Is it? No. Why don't I just make figures of my characters? And yeah, it's not gonna like me at all for that. Plus the glare is so extreme. There we go. Why would I buy somebody else's when I have an entire entourage of my own beautiful characters to choose from? Yeah.
No, gone from being just a collector to, you know, creator, and that's kind of how it goes, man.
It's been a very interesting journey so far. There's things things we're concerned about now. And the annoying part is I'm not concerned about my business having problems because of popularity, because people like what we do. And I love my community. And we spend a lot of time talking to them, listening to them, making sure they're happy.
Yeah.
Literally just today, I went to the server and said, hey guys, if you like the Manti-Corps, tell me why. If you're not sure about it, tell me why. And somebody told us, I'm not really sure about the military aspects. Okay, man, let me tell you this. You're not going to see a lot of military stuff. I say as we look at the most military panels in the issue 0, but it's more like if you've ever seen like Vox Machina or Mighty Nine or the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves film. It's more like that. Like, yes, there's a goal that may involve forces, but it's more like we're just taking a ragtag group of idiots and saying, hey, go do this thing. And do they accomplish it? Maybe they accomplish it. Maybe they don't. Maybe they meet a dragon who may or may not be a Futanari. Maybe you don't know. That's part of the fun of this, is that we can just have so many various things happen.
Right.
Defy what you may expect. If I send them on a mission to kill a general, it's not going to be like, oh, well, it's not going to be that mission in Call of Duty where you're just that good of a sniper and make the shot. No, it's not going to happen. We're going to find some other really roundabout, stupid way to make this happen.
Take it easy, Tank. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you being here.
we always have that there. If you guys want to check out, like we have a free sample book of some of our comics, so you can check out what they look like.
Yep.
I work with a bunch of artists, so the style can vary from series to series. Part of one thing the Manti-Corps is designed to do after issue 0 is it gets told in 2 issue long missions, with those missions having different artists and colorists assigned to them. So that way the book can kind of always be going, but it means you can hop in. You can hop in at any time and enjoy this series. You don't need to read a 50-issue backlog from the 90s for X-Men to find out what's happening right now. You don't have to do that. You just hop in. You're fine.
Right.
Just jump in. You're fine. If you like things like Gate, Goblin Slayer, Monster Girl Doctor, Akame Got Killed, Lodos War, the Warhammer Fantasy Universe, I would have put Vox Machina on there, but I think they qualify as independent, so I don't want to. You don't touch other independent stuff.
Right.
The mainstream kind of feel. Dungeons and Dragons, RPG, isekai genre, which is now massively bloated.
There's a lot of isekai now.
I recently found out why the titles are the way they are.
You mean the ridiculously long titles?
Yes, there's a reason.
To make themselves stand out?
It's exactly that, because when they post like webtoons and stuff like that in Japan and places, over there, and it's like you have to say what you are in the title to get a editor or publisher's attention. You have to, otherwise there's interesting. What is this called? This is called Fantasy Tales. What does that mean? Whatever. Next, but if it's the fantasy tale of how I was reincarnated as a panty vending machine in a dungeon. Okay, let's see
that's oddly specific.
Exactly what happens.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess you've got what, all of 10 seconds to catch an editor or a publisher's eye over there. So you got to do it with the title of the thing. Interesting.
The creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, he's got a book about how to do manga. It's a fantastic book, very very good read. He said that a lot of editors, when you're trying to get in the manga industry, they look at your first panel and that's all they look at. And if it's good, they go, cool. They look at it and go, no, and they chunk it immediately. You have one panel. The first panel is all they care about.
Make it a banger then, huh?
Yeah. And that is why I think so many series, like I mentioned Saga, starts off with that like shock and awe first thing it does to you. Like, this is why, because they realize that first panel is everything.
Well, I mean,
that first panel.
Stories, movies, TV series. I mean, they people remember the first thing and the last thing. Sometimes they'll remember bits and pieces of the in between, but the first and the last bit of a story are the things that are the most impactful.
That's exactly what happens. That's why the Manti-Corps' first panel and page has full female nudity on it, which I can't show on the Kickstarter page because they no longer allow me to show that kind of stuff. That being said, as you scroll down, you will see something that we actually got messages, people asking, is there nudity in the comic? We have a graphic saying there is. No one's going to read that. Okay, let's make a visual one. So we went back and edited it. We do things for our backers all the time. We have secret. The Kickstarter finally added secret tiers. Actually, I think cover R off of that, because cover R is no longer available. It was the early Fox special cover, so that was gone.
Yeah,
with a lady riding what's inspired by a French Saint Chamond tank with liquid cooled on it. What liquid's cooling it? I'll let your imagination do the work on that one. If you're not sure, you need to go
open to interpretation.
You need to go talk to your sex ed teacher because they failed you.
Right. So it's a cool logo. You ever thought about doing like a patch?
Yes. Yes, it was designed. That's why it looks like that. It was designed to be a unit insignia patch.
There you go. Heck yeah.
I got to talk to my buddies in the military, like, hey, do you guys want this patch? Can you wear that? Because if you did, that would look really cool. And I would be like, dude, our troops are wearing my patch. That's amazing. I'd probably cry, actually. That'd be so touching.
That is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, we just unlocked that as a sticker, actually. So now everybody's going to get that as a decal. That was the last stretch goal we just hit.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
We've had like 4 or 5 already. We knocked them out way faster than I anticipated. And yes, this comic is stacked 36 pages across 5 chapters. Each chapter is a different artist, colorist, or combination of. Some of our internal guys, some of them are guests, including the Zong Bros, who colored that one right there. You guys will probably.
This is funny right here. That's not the only thing that's stacked.
Shiho, our Oni, right there. She is 8'3". She's the biggest girl we've ever done, and Booba and everything else. She has the biggest boobs, biggest ass, and just tallest character I've ever done. Her husband over there, who's demi-human Fennec, he's about 5'4". And I thought it was cute. Like, it'd be adorable if her husband's this tiny little guy, and she's enormous and physically gigantically strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're also with this character, you're literally playing into the Lady Dimitrescu craze from Resident Evil Village.
That was about when that came out. That's about the time we started designing her.
Uh-huh.
How long ago?
I mean, the internet went absolutely fucking ape shit for her. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, might as well play into it. You know,
I mean, people like the big diamond mom. You're like, yeah, we can make that work. We can work with this.
John Doe says that's amazing to hear. Way to go, Mr. Fox.
Thank you, Mr. Doe. I appreciate that. We are doing everything we can. We just dropped a new tier today. Actually, you'll see as you keep going down it. We dropped the Card Masters Deluxe, which
nice. And Feline saying it would look good on a stand. She makes we make comic book stands. Whoops. And
yes.
And get the logo engraved on the front.
I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, get them stained in different colors. I'll tell you more about that backstage. But yeah,
yeah. That's a cool. We do have the standee. That's Brooke, our raccoon girl mascot, sitting on the logo that says everything on the table is meant to be touched. Our books enjoy being fondled. Yeah, because the books that I have on the table are damages anyways. You can't hurt them. I don't care. They've already
right. They're reader copies. Yeah,
they're not even that. They're too banged up. Like I don't. Like, some of it doesn't matter. They're just the ones for anybody to look at.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They're the table copies. I had a copy of my sketchbook when I was at Heroes Con, and I ended up kind of like writing little like word balloons on the cover, just to make it more fun.
Yeah. Why not? Well, that's kind of the idea behind that. Like I've seen people do. I never put talking on a cover.
Mm-hmm.
Could.
I mean that is a classic comic trope. It's a classic comic thing.
I haven't done that yet. So again, because we're anime and manga inspired primarily, it's a little more than we are with Western comics.
Right.
Every chapter has. When I first put it together, I realized that jumping from one character story to the other in the next page was really kind of jarring.
Right.
We need a chat. Let's look at Dragon Ball and how he did chapter pages. Let's do that. So then we had an artist come in and do these chapter pages that kind of break it up and say, hey, you're going into this character's story. What issue 0 does is it tells how each member gets chosen for the first ever mixed species special task unit, the Manti-Corps, which is supposed to be the best of the best and the elite. And as you will see throughout the chapter, how they get selected is not because they are that. There's circumstantial reasons they all kind of get chosen to join into this thing.
Yeah. Some person says, reminds me of Bill Nunez' book, Dame Gang. They're all 9-foot-tall giantesses that fight crime. Great artist.
Yeah.
I remember that book.
We've all seen Futurama with the snoo. We know. We know.
What did they die of? Crushed pelvises.
A mixture of shock and happiness on their faces.
Yeah, it's a great episode. This is I like the chapter pages. Those are cool, and it kind of sets up the whole story for that particular chapter.
It's because we're jumping from taking some inspiration from Warhammer's fantasy universe. We jump to massive different cultures. So like the example, like we have humans out there with guns. The demi-humans are still using axes and swords and magic. Yes, because guns hurt their ears. They have the bestial ears, so that
they've got really good hearing, so the guns bother them.
They can't use guns; they hurt. But
well, I mean, there's a reason why we're supposed to wear ear protection when we're using guns now. So
yeah, you definitely want to do that. Concussive force is a thing. Also, anytime you ever see a movie where a guy fires a gun in the car, that's complete BS. Your eardrums will explode. You're deaf.
You're going to be deaf for like the next hour or two.
No, you will actually burst your eardrums. If it's anything higher than a 22 caliber, you're going to bust your eardrums. They're going to explode. You're going to the hospital. You're never going to hear again. You're done.
Just bleeding from the ears.
If you have to fire a gun in a car, lower the windows first, please. Because it's not the sound, it's the reverberation of concussive force. And I learned from my buddy who's in the Marine Corps, who's an explosives expert now. Concussive force, the worst place to be is near a wall, because when it hits and it bounces back, it amplifies the force massively.
Oh yeah.
So that
sound is a motherfucker.
That concussion of the gun firing and breaking the sound barrier, bouncing off the sides of the car and coming back into you, is what just completely is going to kill you. And there's the image now that shows like this is what you can expect. Yes.
Yeah. See right up here. Warning: this comic contains. It's for adults and may contain, but is not limited to, adult situations, depictions of violence, nudity, adult language, adult humor, furries, and monster girls guys. There you go.
Yes, we had that originally, and I started getting questions saying, hey, is there nudity inside this comic? Okay, let's make a more graphic image because it's not clear enough. I need to make sure I fix that.
No
always,
AI.
We don't use AI. Everything we
Yep.
do is made by real people who dedicate their lives to what they do.
That's right.
Kickstarter graphics are made by me, which is why they're not great because I am not a graphic guy, but I do what I can.
You
The
know, they
art
work.
is
They
done
get the
by-
point across, man. That's all that matters.
Art's done by people who done art their entire lives. It's their entire
Mm-hmm.
thing. Professional artists. I write for a living, which is funny because I don't really write comics very often anymore. I write like 2 books a year. Everything else is work. And this is a big one now. Do I have one up here? No, of course I don't. Every tier, this is a first debut of a new series. And we might be making a trading card game. Maybe.
Ooh,
you never know. So
that's cool.
Tiers are color-coded red and green. Red tiers get the red Oni Azumi card. Green tiers get the green Bayou Brook Archer card. And those are kind of broken, a little powerful. We sat down with some people who are card shop owners and big Magic Gathering players and big card game players and developed a rule set of what this game will be. Like, okay, we'll do them as stretch goals and freebies for now. And like let people kind of build a deck off of that. And if people respond well to it, well, we can just do a full trading card game. We have the resources. We can just do that.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And
people love they love trading card games. They love collectible card games.
I did not know they're as popular as they are.
Oh yeah, I mean they've really
Pokemon,
never stopped being popular. You know, like trading cards in general kind of like took a nosedive because I used to collect a bunch of like comic book cards and basketball cards to a certain extent. And like in the early 2000s, you know, like they just kind of nosedived. But like customizable card games like this, they just kept gaining in popularity. I mean, Magic the Gathering never stopped being popular. You know, Pokemon never stopped being popular.
Boosted them. COVID gave them a boost.
Oh yeah.
All your tabletop, weirdly enough, a time when they told us not to be in person, all the in-person games skyrocketed.
Yeah.
You know, D&D, D&D, all the big D&D groups showed up. So I know Critical Role was around before that, but we saw a lot of guys hopping on that. We saw card games come back. Tabletop game sales skyrocketed. Puzzle sales skyrocketed. Okay, people are liking to do this now.
I mean, I don't know. I'm all for things that get people away from their screens for a little bit, and gets them to interact. You know, like that's why I love books. You know, give me a book to hold in my hand to read. I love the feeling of an actual book. I will definitely say that I enjoy having digital so I can take it with me, so I can take an entire series and read. But give me physical book. Yeah. Hold that up again.
To go further into this guy's doing books about monster girls. One of my favorite books to read ever is Interspecies Reviewers. And if you haven't read it, I can't recommend it enough.
You've told me about that one.
I recently got I got my partner to watch it, and then our mutual partner friend to watch it. And she's like, "This is hilarious. This show is amazing." And the writer did things that were very intelligent to show hey, they know how to write. They're not just doing boob gags. It's like, hey, here's a fire salamander chick. Guess what? She puts off so much heat you can cook meat. You can literally cook meat on her skin. But if you're human, you can't touch her because it will literally scald your skin. But a character with high fire resist can have some fun with her at one of these.
There you go.
That's
some person says this would do great on Bancroft's channel. I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Bancroft. He does the Lucent. Feline says, I think it's doing pretty good here. Yeah, I think so. Isaac and I always have a good time talking.
Yeah,
and thank you, baby.
I live under a rock, though, so there's a lot of things I don't know now. Like, I have some of my colleagues are at STCC telling me about things they're seeing, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is.
Right.
And now they're finding that, on a very annoying note, back to the AI, that there are books they are finding there from major comic publishers that clearly have AI-made art inside the book on the panels.
Yep.
Like, good.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Listen, if the big corporate schlock is going to continue to be schlock and use AI, then we have a duty as independent creators to do the exact opposite.
Not use that BS.
Nope.
We are literally, I just got a message from Azumi right now because the book's done so well. We're commissioning a special thank you cover that will come live. And literally just another, I could have had an AI do that in like 10 seconds and not pay anything. But I'm paying the guy who did the card art right there, Yura, to do this a Yuri cover that will feature Izumi and our Dark Elf Cena.
That's awesome. Heck yeah.
The book's done well, and it's done way better than I thought it was going to do so far. So let's make a thank you. When things go well, I try to give people thank yous. Like when campaigns go well, my artists get bonuses. I just give them more money for free. Like here, this is good. Here's more money, please.
Listen. That's how you retain good artists to keep working with you. You show them that you appreciate.
There's a reason you see the same names on like everything I do, because they keep coming back. Like, yeah, we work with the same people because I'm not going to rely on them. And we bring in some different guys for covers here and there to find out, like, how this person's style is different. This guy's got a different thing they'll do, but for the most part, the internal team's the same handful of people.
Yeah. Speaking of covers, I put this this image in the assets here so I could bring it up. Assets, because this cover is fucking fantastic. This is an eye catcher. You wanna tell people about this cover?
The naughty version is the most popular one. Next to the early one.
Color me shocked.
That is by Cute Sexy Robots. If you guys have ever seen his work before, I have argued before, I think CSR is the best artist on earth when it comes to sexy realism. And what I mean by that is, you can see like on Shiho right here, those things are big.
Yeah.
But they also have a teardrop shape. They're not just magical round balloons. And they have actual weight. Like they look like they're actually heavy, which they would be if you're that big.
I can confirm that Feline absolutely could cosplay this character. And when we were talking about cooking in the kitchen and this, I do see this in the kitchen when I'm visiting. So yeah. And life as wonderful. And yes, they are. That's why I've got big hands that, to help carry the weight.
Well, for the seal reinforcement, she does have there appears to be like some kind of leather strap going across right there to help keep them.
It's got strength of a suspension bridge. Exactly.
Yeah. CSR is amazing. If you guys look him on Twitter, he's mostly on Twitter right now. He draws boobs and butts better than anybody else. They look realistic.
His artwork is a celebration of the female form. It is a celebration of just the beautiful, sexy curves.
We wanted.
Power, sexy, femininity. Powerful, sexy, badass.
For the longest time, my entire team was female, minus myself. For the longest time. And now we do have I have a council of women that we run things by to make sure that our characters, like in the Manti-Corps here, we get our dark elf girl. She's really interested in having the conquests, finding out, with different species she can bang, who can conquer sexually.
Everybody needs a hobby, I suppose.
That old Italian mentality of conquest.
Right.
And her and Sally at some point in time may get bingo cards of of different species they're trying to sleep with. And the point being, that's like, one's Sally's hedonistic, and Cena's like, well, I want my adventures to be sexy. I want fun while I'm young enough to enjoy it. So the point being that, yes, they can be fun and they can enjoy sexuality, but they're not brainless bimbos that just drop their pants at the first sight of a guy. Like, no, they have to be people. They're gonna have standards at the same time. You're gonna bang somebody who meets those standards.
Right.
It's
got to be, it's got to be real. They got to have depth to them, But I mean, that comes with the story as well. If you're going to tell the story, especially if it has, sexy elements to it, there's got to be an actual story involved as well. Otherwise, there's no point. It's just, it's TNA and cheesecake for the sake of cheesecake.
At that point, I might as well just. At that point, I'll just do a hentai with no dialogue.
Because nobody's really paying attention to what's being said anyway in those books.
I'm audio driven, so I do, but that's just me.
Well, you're also a writer, my friend. So
yeah, that's part of it.
Being an artist, I'm a very visual person. Go figure.
That makes sense. You will see a lot of that kind of content happening.
Yeah,
but there's some rules about it: who they can, who they can't bang. Like, I don't let them touch each other because that I don't like the idea of the team. That kind of messes up the team dynamic. I feel like it's more fun if they're competing for the same person to sleep with.
Right.
There'll be a later one where they argue with each other because one of them sleeps with a sexy goblin girl. And the other one's like, why did you do that? I want to do that. That's not fair. You got to it first. And of course, the goblin might be like, well, there's plenty of me to go around. Oh, we get more sex scenes and more fun. I take it. One thing I took into this series is the mentality of, I'm going to call it Inuyasha for a second. And I love Inuyasha. I love Inuyasha. But I'm going to call him out for a second.
I've actually never watched Inuyasha. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It is good. Its problem is that it has a very repetitive loop. And that loop is, we're in a universe we could die at any time. I like this character, but I'm afraid to tell them. They like me, but they're afraid to tell me. Oh, hey, the bad guy's attacking a village. Let's go do that again. And it's just that on loop for a long time.
Oh boy.
So my mentality to it was like, if you're in a world where you could just get killed at any second, why would you not jump at the first pleasure opportunity?
Well, why would you waste any moment to not be with the person that you are, in love with,
Love is not a thing.
Well,
Run into it. Well, for the only girl, there it is, because she is married, and her, as you'll see her story, and actually our most recent short kind of implies it. But it's fine to say it. She does get drafted against her will. She doesn't want to be a soldier. She wants to be with her husband. She doesn't want to be doing this. So for her story is love. Everybody else is single. Every character has a pretty in-depth story. Despo right there. I'm curious if you make the human girl right there, and I say human in quotation marks. And I wonder if anyone has figured. No, I'm waiting to see if anyone's gonna be able to figure it out, because every time I call her human, it's in quotation marks, has a question mark, and I'm trying to see like who can figure out what her story actually is, who she really is, what's actually happening.
So there's a little bit of a mystery to her. That
every character has an actual story to go into. They're not just there.
Yeah,
Despa
I mean
has
that makes
a backstory
sense.
we have to deal with. Sally who's always makes narcotic potions and gets high all the time. There's a reason they're doing this. When we see, there will be a later issue, which is already done, where Cena, or the lady there, goes to pray to the god of the sun, which is one of the gods of the humans, and Sally Strip tells them, the gods don't listen, right? They can, but they don't want to. Like, why would our healers are supposed to be like next to clerics in terms of faith? Why are you saying that? Well, we'll find out. Chiho wanted to go back to her husband, Cena, with the things that her whole thing of, that's something I should point out. The Manti-Corps is told past tense. So everything you're seeing has already happened. It's being retold by the Dark Elf, by Cena. She's retelling the stories, with the premise being that the Manti-Corps has achieved such success in their career that every bard on the planet sings about them. And her point is, what the bards are singing about isn't entirely accurate. They make us sound like great heroes, but we really weren't. So it's her kind of telling the truth of what happened during their missions and what things they actually saw and what they went through.
I mean, I actually kind of like that. I like that use of the, I don't know, I guess the flashback or whatnot, but I think that's a good use of it, because sometimes that can be kind of tropey, but if it's done correctly, it can really enhance the story. Some people will say, "Oh, well, then you know what's going to happen to the character." Well, not necessarily. You don't necessarily know that this character survived all the way to the end.
We know that Cena did, but did we say that anybody else did? We haven't. Yeah. We don't know yet what happens. Yeah. And so like Oni, elves, and demi-humans can live for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So maybe they're still around. Maybe they're not. Maybe they got killed. Maybe they went somewhere else. We don't know yet. You'll see it throughout as the missions happen. Zongbros, Nezbox right there. I want to point out that Nez is a former Toei animation guy who worked on Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, awesome!
So we got to work with him. He's fantastic.
So seriously, getting the pedigree on the covers, man.
I pulled every single big gun I had for this book that I could possibly get.
Hey, man, if you're going to kick off a brand new series, might as well, right?
It's everything I've learned in comics combined for this book, and it's been a very important one to me, because I have sat down for years now working on stories, getting these characters just right, making sure their backgrounds make sense, making sure their personalities fit into what they need to fit into. It's literally been years my team and I've been working on this and not saying anything about it. It's been a side project. It's been like 4 years that we've actually been actively working on the Manti-Corps, and that's why it already has 4 issues beyond this practically ready to go.
That's awesome.
We've been working on it so much to get it ready.
Right.
What happened was Suck You Busted #2 still is the #1 Kickstarter book for single issue comics in Jacksonville's history, in the biggest city in the United States outside of Alaska.
Jacksonville is fucking huge, you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, we're getting a Raising Cane's apparently, and my friend goes, "Dude, you're gonna go?" I'm like, "Dude, it could be 2 hours from my house in the same city as Jacksonville, bro. It goes way out. The city lives in the middle of the swamp." So the book we worked on for so long to get it to put together, and I wanted to make sure it was just right. And a lot of the artists, like Cute Sexy Robots, I can get a cover from him, but it might take me 2 years to get it.
Sure.
So
we dude, that popular and that in demand, understandable.
with so much
know?
work that they do, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Anybody with a name, you're going to wait a lot longer.
Sure.
Unless you want to, pay way more to get it fast. Well, what's the
Right.
chart?
Well, I mean,
Good,
there's always the
fast.
expedition fee.
It's like there's the diagram of good, cheap, and fast. Pick 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Get all 3.
You're never going to get all 3.
Shell out way more.
Yeah.
I wish have made I'd have to jack the price of the funding goal up.
Yeah. Listen, I think it worked out just fine, and this seems to be a pretty popular one for you so far, and I'm happy to hear that because starting a new series, it's always an uphill battle starting something new. Especially like a new series, trying to get people interested in new characters to check out a new story.
We, as adults, we're really bad at wanting to see new things. Men were even worse about it. We don't want to give anything new a try.
People get set in their ways. They get and people as they get older become curmudgeons, and they don't want to learn anything new. They don't want to do anything new. They don't want to see anything new because it moves outside of the comfort zone. The comfort zone is comfortable. I want to stay here.
The cover on the right there, that R4 cover sea green, that is by Eric Chen, who's part of Art Germ's team. Eric is amazing out of Tokyo, and I felt bad. I was giving the Japanese stuff to do because he lives in Japan. Like, you're the guy though, you know what to do. So he is really good at elegant sexy, like a classy sexy. He's amazing at that.
So there's the spicy version of that cover, and then
we call them Foxy now to try to get. It's in part to get around getting in trouble,
right.
NSFW will probably trigger an AI to go, oh, hey, look, this thing says this. But
oh my God.
it's ridiculous.
AI
is stupid.
You're all going to be upset when AI, fucks you over. It's going to happen. Just saying. Stop being so dependent upon this shit.
Don't use it.
Yeah.
We got a question about how many trading cards are putting out this Kickstarter.
Yes.
That depends on how many stretch goals we hit. I don't know. That's going to depend on the stretch goals, because the last stretch goal is a 25K, which means we're going to make a custom one. You guys are going to get a vote on what character is going to be on it. And if we go past that, I have to begin new stretch goals to make up for that. So I don't know what's going to happen there. We have first appearance specials. That means that the logo up there gets spot foiled.
Nice.
So that's just for like, hey, this is the debut of that character, the first time you're ever going to see them.
Right.
Usually first appearance is the most valuable, the most sought after. So you can get those special here. So that, in 20 years when I get a Netflix special, you can sell it for even more money.
And this one includes both the red and the green
cards.
Yes,
the special tiers, if you notice the left side of the graphic is green, the right side's red. Green's not very strong though. It means that you get both cards. There are the add-ons. There are the deluxe versions that are holofoiled, and they're also topless. So those are.
Feline says she likes woodsy, classy, sexy, and I just have to say she is woodsy, classy, sexy. So.
I think there's definitely, we try to do a little bit for everybody. So you can have some things that are a little more straight up sultry, and you can have things that are a little more classy. I don't know if I had to censor Sally's butt right there or not. I hate that censoring it makes it like it's so much more risque than it really is.
But better safe than sorry. Better to not have the AI or whatever.
Kickstarter before said they didn't care about butts, but that was before Stripe started to really go crazy.
Well, I mean, I told you about the time that I had you on, and it was your little no AI thing with like the animated butt wiggle, and Twitch literally like banned me for like a week because of that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Shit happens.
That's stupid, because you have live women in bikinis in the hot tub chat wearing that, doing the exact same thing.
Yes, but them e-thoughts make Twitch money, so they don't care.
Yeah, well, that's.
And I'm a dude with a beard that likes women, so
we thought that was the thing for Kickstarter. They weren't coming after the earners. Until I talked to a guy who his campaigns make 80 to 100, and he goes, "No, they absolutely are coming after us too."
Interesting.
But that being said, just for those guys who don't know, like Kickstarter, comic books, we have the highest success rate of any category.
Naked yoga.
But we also have the lowest average earnings. So if you go through like most popular, you see campaigns that are making several 100,000 to over like 3 or 4 million. Yeah, we don't normally make that. That's not the only thing we do. That's the tech guys, the board game guys, the video game guys.
Dude,
make all that.
Especially on Indiegogo, the fucking tech crowdfunders, those things very rarely ever deliver. Like my buddy that does network, like cybersecurity. He and I both backed a hybrid drive coming out of Hong Kong, and we never got the fucking thing. Never got it. Never got any kind of indication that it was coming or anything like that. Now they've mass produced them and they're selling them all over.
As of 3 years ago, I don't know what it is now, Kickstarter said 34% of all funded campaigns never give anything. From what I am hearing from the Kickstarter community, that number has increased a significant amount. A lot of people are just not paying out. The tech guys are especially known for being scammy. With one of the most famous noteworthy ones being a guy who said he invented a small, like as big as your phone, rebreather for your mouth. You could scuba dive and just breathe through having an oxygen tank.
Right.
And every scuba person I've ever talked to goes, if that was real, if you actually made that, you wouldn't need a Kickstarter because the military would just throw billions of dollars at you immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
This is BS. This is not possible. This is not real. And it wasn't real.
And this is the problem with AI, because you'll have them make fake products like that, and they're literally selling just the concept, the idea, and you get nothing. And
what I always tell people, if you guys don't know about backing my stuff, there's a reason there's a link on my page is telling you, hey, go look at my previous campaigns. Go read the comments. We always give what we say we're going to give you. The only time we'll ever have a problem is if you don't answer your surveys. If you don't answer your survey, we are not viable. We are not liable. Because I will
can't do anything. You've done what you can.
I don't know what I will send emails, direct messages, updates. And if you don't fill out your survey, then I don't know where to send your goods. That's on you at that time. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that. So my standees, right? We hired a guy whose specialty is standees. And he didn't do this standee, but he came in like, hey, do this and this to your standees. Fix them. Make them better. You're right. I don't like the way ours look right now. We need to make them better. So that one right there is done by Nox Curo, who did the art for it. But this new guy, Eddie, his specialty standees. He makes just standees all he does. And he's like, do this, change this, do this and this. And we started doing that. And yeah, they look way better now. There's so much better.
Excellent.
You're going to see his standees in the next book we do. Which will be Succubus number 4, which is the end of the first arc. And that book is finished. All the covers are done. It's totally done. I just need time to put that. It takes me a while. I don't do a Kickstarter unless the previous one's wrapped up. I've seen so many people now that they run like 4 books at once. Or they finish one, they launch a new one the next day. I'm not putting them down. You do your hustle. That's you. You do you. I'm gonna do me. As a backer, I feel like that's disingenuous. Because well, why aren't you giving me that time and effort? I paid you money. Where's my thing first? I should come first. And I think I agree. If you back my book, if you back the Manti-Corps, you do come first. We're not putting out Suck You Busted unless you got your stuff.
Right.
Every now and then there could be a delay on a certain item, like we've had, or especially like some backers have requested special things. Sure. And I'll tell them, hey, it came in, but it's kind of banged up. I don't like it. My printer is going to reprint it and give us a new one. Is that okay? And they say yes. And the new book might launch while that's happening, but you've had that back. We've communicated that to you. We've talked to you about it. Make sure you're okay with that.
Right.
We talk to our backers as much as we can. Posters.
Communication is key. Communication is absolutely key when doing this.
If you guys ever want a special, you want to cover in metal, gold foil, whatever, something you from a previous campaign, you don't see it, message us. We will make it happen. We always do. We pride ourselves on the best backer service on Kickstarter, period.
That's awesome.
If you have a question, just send us a message. We'll take care of you. We do not ignore you. We will not say no. Well, if we can't do it, sometimes I can't do things. It might be a
right. Well, I mean, some things just aren't feasible.
Or maybe like I can do that, but this is how much it's going to cost because making that particular way is very expensive. I'm sorry, but I'm bound by that rule. That happens. No, he's right. I have that one with me, and I'd show it up. I'd get you in trouble if I showed it off. He's right. Yeah. Censoring it makes it look worse.
Yeah,
it makes it look so much more risque than it really is. Like I could just make this look
and that's usually how it goes.
As a heads up for our covers, our posters. Posters do carry a separate shipping charge because they come rolled into a tube. We don't fold them and damage them. They're rolled. Yeah. You get them and they're perfectly nice and no bend marks, no damage, they're pristine. Yeah. And now we do them double-sided for the same price to give you more bang for your buck.
Welcome back, Tank. You came back just in time.
Oops.
Says, I'm back. You may now rejoice.
Here's boobs.
Yeah, you may rejoice because there are big waifu boobs.
Look, here are some. Oh, and I should mention
double-sided poster. I like that. So you get you can hang up one side and flip it around if you've got people coming over.
I forgot to mention. You said Tank and it reminded me. This universe adheres to D&D party dynamics. Mm-hmm. So you have for our squad we have 2 damage dealers, a solar mage / rifleman, and an archer. Then we have a tank and a healer. we're going with that line. With our only girl there being our tank. Her species is one of her racial passives is reactive skin. So if you would hit her with any kind of force, like a knife or a bullet, the skin hardens and tightens. You can't penetrate it. So when you see them fight, they're fighting the ogres. The ogres are using exclusively blunt weapons because of that. You can't pierce the skin, but you can break the bones and you can damage the organs underneath. So it's the principle of fighting a guy, and I hate that Hollywood does this. This will be my angry rant for the day. Like when the most recent Assassin's Creed trailer comes out, you see him slash a guy from the front in full samurai armor, and then he stabs a guy through the stomach that comes out the back. The guy's in full samurai gear, full armor. Why are you wearing armor if it doesn't work? Hollywood doesn't know armor works. So if people don't know this, we'll explain this really quick. Armor, historically speaking, it's not this like you can't move heavy. It's actually pretty well weighted out when it's made properly. You can move pretty well, but it's still heavy. It doesn't breathe, so you are dying of heat stroke the entire time, especially if you have a closed face helm. Oh yeah. Third, it is hellaciously expensive. A suit of armor back then would be the equivalent of like $400,000 to $500,000 today. So why would you spend all that money and be uncomfortable to wear a thing that doesn't work? No, some of the old manuals that talk about medieval martial arts and even the samurai tell you if your enemy is swinging at you and you're wearing full plate, let him swing. His sword will bounce off. You can take it. It's fine. His hands are now occupied with that, and yours are free. You can now kill him.
Yeah. The whole point of having the armor to begin with.
Exactly. But so taking that into account, me being the stickler about that and still wanting a fan service character to be our sexy tank, how do I make that work? The racial is that you'll see in the first mission they go on that she gets stabbed in the boobs and the knife breaks. It's like, I know I hit you. Why hit flesh? Why aren't you hurt? And she recites a line from Basic, the armor I wear is ceremonial, for I am an Oni of the Red Mountains. I am armor. I don't need this armor. It's just ceremonial. Like, no, she's walking armor. A gun will not hurt her. You can shoot, it won't do anything. But then you'll see the people they fight are using exclusively war hammers and clubs and crushing weapons because of that. Like,
because blunt force trauma, will always do something.
If I'm going up against a guy in full plate mail, I'm not using a sword. I'm not.
No.
I'm taking a pick, a hammer, or a mace, a crushing weapon, because I know that I'm not going to be able to. I can't stab through that. And if it's
you're not going to penetrate the armor, but you can cause blunt force trauma through the armor.
Not only that, but again, to me be a stickler about this kind of stuff, he's probably wearing thick leather and chainmail underneath that. So even if I do get to the joints, there's no guarantee I'm going to be able to pierce to get skin and actually anything that's going to hurt it. So instead, I'm going to hit him in the head with a club or something like that, because that's going to hurt him. Red Sonja Red Sonja and Conan in general are definitely more fan servicey and fantasy. And I don't
it's high fantasy. Her armor is skill.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. I mean, although I'm not sure that the chainmail bikini would be very comfortable. There would at least have to be like some leather or something. Otherwise, it would be rather pinchy.
We used to play a lot of this game called Conan Exiles, which was a survival game for Conan. And like you wear this like. By the time you get to end game, you're in this like crazy decked out full plate armor, but then Conan walks out in just like a loincloth. Like, well, he's Conan. It's different.
Yeah, he's a fucking barbarian. Yeah,
I don't like this phrase very much, but he is quite literally built different. It's okay. He doesn't need armor because he's Conan. Yeah. Me, I still need it. I still want the full armor.
Right. See, Feline gets it. Again, they don't need the armor.
Exactly. Some people don't, and was why I was like, well, let's make our tank a race that doesn't need to wear armor, so it can still be kind of sexy, but still make sense of why they can tank a beating and a hit and not take any damage.
Right.
Just I hated that trope for the longest time of like characters getting stabbed. I love the movie Troy, and I think it's a fantastic film. But when he stabs Hector right through the chest plate, like. Why is he? I get it.
Why was he wearing it then?
It's because Achilles is so epic and powerful. He can do that. Okay, sure. But the weapon he's using is made of bronze, and so is that plate. Bronze is a softer metal.
Right.
I mean, still freaking metal. It's not going to just do that. It's
not tinfoil. It's not aluminum.
No, but it's probably not going to cleanly just punch through another piece of thick bronze in the process. But
yeah.
Again, go back and watch Lord of the Rings, which I love Lord of the Rings, but there are so many scenes of Gimli hitting guys running at him. And I was like, that guy's fine. You just bonked him in like the chest plate and he fell over. He's fine. He's getting up. He's totally fine.
You know, it's suspension of disbelief.
You have to, well, like you just said, you have to allow these things in order for it to be. In animation, I'm less forgiving of it because you have the power to actually to create this big blood spurt relatively easily compared to building an entire rig and all that to do it for a person.
Sure.
For practical effects, which are harder to do.
Yeah.
But like, why are you wearing the armor? Mandalorian did it fantastically, where there's parts where Mando literally tanks blaster hits because he knows the armor can take it.
That's what it's supposed to do. You know, the Beskar. It's supposed to be able to tank those blasts. A beating. Yeah.
Game of Thrones did it, where Jorah fights one of the Dothraki guys, and his sword gets stuck in the armor.
Yep.
The guy doesn't know how to fight a guy with armor, so he slashes at his waist. He's like, the sword's stuck, and Jorah's like, oh, well, you're unarmed now. You're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you're a better fighter, but I am wearing gear that you don't know how to deal with, and your sword can't deal with this armor, so I'm fine.
Hollywood doesn't understand military things of any era, says Tank Ferret. That is correct. That is accurate.
We talked earlier about the concussive force, where you see a guy like die behind a couch from a grenade. Like, no, you're dead. That kills you. You're dead. That doesn't protect you at all. So if you have a building from the explosion, no, you're still dead. You're totally
especially
dead,
the shrapnel. The shrapnel's going to go right through that couch.
They never take that into Hollywood doesn't understand that a frag grenade is short for fragmentation.
Yes.
And its entire thing is not the explosion. It throws pieces of metal up to 40 meters.
Everywhere. In all directions. Yep. And like tipping over a flimsy fucking table in like a bar to hide behind when people are shooting guns.
It's not stopping a 30 caliber rifle, man. It's just not.
That wouldn't even stop a fucking 22.
No.
Like,
my favorite one is like in Bad Boys, and they walk into a nightclub and shoot, and they go, "You good? Yeah, you're talking normal? No, bro, you're deaf. You're deaf right now, bro. You can't hear. Your ears you are in massive pain from your ears right now, and you are not just going to talk to somebody." The movie that did that well was Black Hawk Down, when the guy blazes the M249 next to the buddy's head, and he's like, "Fuck, my ears, I can't hear." Like, that thing is loud, dude. If you've ever been next to like an M249, they are really loud machine guns.
Oh yeah,
it's like you are
I'm
not.
Sure, you feel that shit in your chest when it fucking goes off too.
You feel the concussive force shake your body being around it.
Yeah,
it's like movies don't do it either. But a 50 caliber bullet just traveling past you can tear skin. Like it's the velocity.
I was about to say there's a lot of velocity behind that. Feline saying again, pin knife. Know those little spots that don't stop bleeding. Yep.
Oh,
nick those little arteries.
From the back in the old days, I learned that if you're really having a problem with a guy, just cut his forehead, because facial wounds bleed terribly and blood burns the eyes badly. I learned that when I used to take boxing when I was young. If you ever get blood in your eye, it hurts so bad.
Oh yeah. And it keeps you from being able to see. I mean, take somebody's feet out from under them, or keep them from being able to see, and they're incapacitated. Yep.
And luckily, like coming from a background where I got to learn that kind of stuff, we will get to see things like that in the Manti-Corps. They're making a little more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going to bring some of this to the story. That's cool.
That's the idea, was to make it more believable. Like, okay,
right.
Certain classes don't wear as much. A healer doesn't wear as much armor. Yeah, that makes sense. They got to be light. An archer's not wearing a lot of armor because she's got to jump around a lot and be light. That's fine. They can wear armor in strategic locations, like around your shoulders. Places might get hit, more likely to get hit. Sure, and maybe sometimes they get hit in the armor and they're fine. That being said, I do qualify this as an ecchi comedy at its core. So you are going to see an explosion, and for whatever reason, only my top was destroyed. That's still going to happen.
But that's the humor aspect of it. That's the levity of it.
That's kind of been the whole.
That's looking at the camera and winking because you know that this is silly, but we're having fun.
That's what we learned in the Suck You Busted series. I pulled from that. That's what got me thinking about doing this series. Was that, well, fan service doesn't have to make sense. It can just be like you've heard me argue. Look, I know you're tired of me saying this. We have forgotten in the West that comics are supposed to be fun. Let it be fun.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you, man. You're allowed to have fun with comics. They don't all have to be Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns.
No, they don't. It's like, we can let it be fun and be kind of stupid. That's fine. And I think that I haven't seen it yet. Some spoilers. I'm told that the new Superman knows that Gunn's aware of that it needs to be fun. And to allow dumb to happen for the sake of fun.
That's cool. You know, entertainment is allowed to, you know, have fun. I mean, what was I was over at my buddy's house, and we were, because we do D&D on Sundays. His 7-year-old little one, she's getting into D&D, and she's having a blast with it. And you know, we were hanging out afterwards, and How to Train Your Dragon 2 was on. And you know, some of the stuff, like the mechanics of the stuff that Hiccup makes and whatnot, it's like, okay, that wouldn't really work, but the suspension of disbelief makes it fun. It allows for that fun to happen in the movie. You know, that's
what most of that stuff. But you know, like you just said, you let it happen for fun.
Yeah, it's the suspension of disbelief. You know, you got to get to a certain point of, you know, it has to be a certain amount of believable. You know, like a lot of sci-fi. You know, they use a bunch of scientific terms and whatnot, but the science doesn't necessarily line up. No. You know, unless it's a hard sci-fi book, like, you know, like Andy Weir's books. I don't know if you ever read The Martian or Hail Mary. Those are a lot of hard sci-fi.
Those are like praised for being accurate, from what I understand.
Oh yeah. They are hard science, emphasis on the science, and then fiction thrown in on top of it. I'm actually really looking forward to that movie.
Separation of reality, like look at Bruce Banner.
Mm-hmm.
Gamma radiation just kills you. It doesn't turn you into the Hulk. You just die.
You just die horribly.
You just get cancer and die. You don't become like a Hulk. But we, you know, like you just said, we allow suspension of disbelief for things to happen. Like, look over at the Flash, Barry, a lightning accident. No, you're just dead, dude. You know, you get super speed, you're dead.
Right.
But we had
well, it was lightning and chemicals. Even still, you're more dead.
How I'll use I love Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. I'll admit that. How many times does Batman just like punch a guy in the face and the guy spins and falls over? Like, dude, you and I are like normal guys. We're not like, you know, we don't train 10 hours like Batman does.
Right.
But even as normal guys, we could kill somebody in one punch. You hit him just right.
Sure. Hit him in the appropriate place.
Killed like half the guys he's fighting.
Or horribly crippled for life.
Yeah, there'd be like brain aneurysms and cerebral hemorrhaging and bleeding, like just from the beatings he gives them. But again, we allow it to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, for entertainment's sake.
I'll go to the anime side on Cowboy Bebop, which is a fairly realistic series in terms of how it handles a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mad Perot?
Oh yeah.
He literally juggles Spike in the air with kicks and punches. I'm like, dude, in reality, that would just kill you. Like. That kind of force to keep you in the air, it would break everything you had. He kicks him in the chin and juggles him like that. Your neck is you just took your neck out of socket. You're dead.
At least knock some fucking teeth out of his head.
Yeah, he's
at bare minimum. Yeah, no.
But we allow it to be like, oh wow, this is an epic fight. But that being said, comics and anime are exaggerated mediums. We allow the exaggeration. You know, what's the famous meme of the anime girl grabbing her friend by the back of the head and slamming her into a wall, and the whole concrete wall like shatters?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, that's not realistic, but it gets us the point across like, oh, wow, she's really angry. That's the whole point. Let it be exaggerated. Let it be fun. The Manti-Corps is a series that has remembered to be fun. There are some serious moments. This is a war. People are going to die. Things don't always go well. But at the core, it's still going to be fun. Maybe we're going to run into a dragon who may or may not be a Futanari chick. I don't know. Maybe we have Chiho in her full armor gets hit by pressure blasted hot water, and because she's a Red Mountain Oni, her fire resist is pretty high. So it doesn't hurt her, but her clothes get torn off in the process. Hey, that's fun.
Yeah, especially for the viewers.
She can handle the heat and the pressure, but doesn't mean the clothes can. Okay, she'll do that. That's fine. I'm cool with this. Let it just be fun.
Feline is listing off all the various characters that we allow for suspension of disbelief. Spider-Man, Spock, the Fantastic Four. I mean, Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, both, you know, radiation. That was Stan Lee's favorite way to get a superhero was, you know, some kind of radiation. You know, radioactive spider with Spider-Man, and then, cosmic rays. You know, in reality, it just gives you cancer and you die.
I recall episode of Dragon Ball Z where Goku gets out of the hyperbolic time chamber and goes to pat Chi-Chi on the back and launches her through the wall of the house.
Yep.
And pointing out Chi-Chi is technically the strongest woman alive for humans.
Right.
But she's still a normal human. That should have done damage. No, she's fine.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's also played for comedy's sake. You know, that's
exactly.
It's for humor. Yeah.
Well, it's like I always go back to this one. When Multiverses came out, it was arguing who'd win. You know who the strongest character in that game canonically would be? Bugs Bunny. He's a
because he can
do anything.
Alter reality. Yeah,
he's literally a reality warping entity. He can do whatever he wants if he feels like it because he's a gag character.
Yeah,
Toriyama, one of the first books he ever did was a gag manga. There's a promo for Super where that little kid robot character that he did shows up and beats the crap out of Goku and Vegeta going, "Oh, she's a gag character. We can't win."
Right.
You're not going to. It's
so the ultimate power is random humor.
It does seem that way, and it does seem that what is his name? The guy who does One Piece, figured that out. Like, I'm not a One Piece guy. I have nothing against it. It's just too long for me. Where apparently the
art style never really did anything for me.
Yeah, it didn't resonate with me either. But I'm not putting it down. It's just not my thing. Where I think it's called Gear 5, which is basically Tom and Jerry powers. Luffy gets it's actually really powerful. That's pretty smart. Like if you're like Super Saiyan mode is that you can just do Bugs Bunny stuff. Yeah, you're basically unbeatable.
Well, reality warping. I mean, that's. I don't know if you're familiar with like old school X-Men, but that was Proteus. Proteus could literally warp reality around him in a certain field, and that's why he was so dangerous.
You can't beat that guy. Superman could go to punch Bugs Bunny, hit him, and Bugs Bunny shatter, and it'd be a kryptonite statue of Bugs Bunny sitting there as he falls to his knees, and then Bugs will walk up with a carrot going, "What happened?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can do anything. You're not going to win that fight. Yeah, Plastic Man's a great example of that.
Bugs love monsters. Yeah, Plastic Man. Exactly. He's an absurd character.
He can do all this kind of stuff. Like, this guy actually might be the most powerful character when he wants to be. He's just intentionally made to be silly, so he's not the most powerful.
Goofy.
Anybody, any of those cartoon characters ultimately would beat anybody else. Like any Looney Tunes character could beat any of our anime characters in a fight easily.
Right.
And even if they got beaten up in the process, they wouldn't stay down. We've seen Wile E. Coyote take nuclear bombs and get up. I mean,
yeah. I mean, he's gotten crushed by rocks, blown up by his own rockets. I mean, his health insurance policy must be through the roof.
He gets up every time. So how do you
dusts himself off and just does it again? You're
eventually just going to be so gassed from beating on this guy, you're going to pass out and he's going to win by default.
So that's what we've learned today. Cartoon character powers beat out anything and everything.
The cover above that, the green one right there, we did. So we did a little bit of a gag with our Discord server. We told them, "Hey guys, vote on." We showed before the book came out. We said, "Hey, here's the main cast. Vote who you like the most." Chiho, the big Oni, won the vote. We said, "Hey guys, red or green? Vote. What's this about? You'll figure it out. You'll find out." And it became the Discord choice cover. Became a green tier based on that. That cover has the most booba of any cover we've ever done, and it stars Chiho right there in the center because she was the winning of the vote. The girl at the top is Krios' mascot Yuffie. She's a harpy. And the other three ladies on that are side characters from the first issue chapters. Couldn't even have names.
There you go. Most booba for your buck here. So
we have plenty of sexy ladies. Let's put them together and have some fun. Let's give those backers something nice. And I'll tell you guys, if you're ever in our Discord server, we do events sometimes. The people who came to that event got that cover day one. It was a stretch goal unlock, but they got it day one and they got it cheaper because they were at one of our events.
So it pays to be a part of the Discord and to pay attention to the events that are happening. There you go.
We always want to do that. We try to take care of our people best we can.
Tank is asking if we've ever played Toon. It's a tabletop RPG.
I've never heard of it in my life.
Never played a tabletop game in your life?
Unless you're counting. Well, hold on, does it count like Monopoly and Jumanji? Those I've played. But I've never done like the new like.
I mean, those are tabletop games. Those aren't RPGs. Though.
Yeah, I've never done a tabletop RPG in my life. Yeah. I've never done that. Not against
it's the cartoon RPG.
I told you before the show started, like last week when this book launched, I got maybe 10 hours sleep that entire week. Like, it baffles me that I have friends like, "Oh, why are you busy during a campaign? You launch it and sit back." I'm like, "No, dude, that's like the busiest time of my year. I have to go. I schedule shows. I have to go to conventions. I have to do appearances. I have to get advertisements done. We have to answer special requests. Like, no, I don't sleep during a campaign. That's usually like there's the 30-day campaign. At the end of the 30th day, we do a big celebration.
Yeah.
On the 31st day, no one hears from me. Like, yeah, I'm going to take a hot bath and disappear. Goodbye.
I'm going to unwind and relax and decompress from all of this. Yeah, I mean the hustle is real. You know, when you're doing one of these, you know, you gotta.
Everybody's a little bit different. For me, this is my full-time job. This is what I do for a living.
Well, you know, no matter whether it is or isn't, you know, you gotta be, you know, constantly hitting the campaign trail, as it were, talking to people, getting the word out there, letting people know. You know, I mean,
people asking what they want, seeing who's doing what. It's a nonstop. It just never ends.
Yeah,
and that's that's one of my favorites right there. Nico's right there. That so Izumi, we do mascots for our covers. We have Brooke is the company mascot. Izumi's my personal mascot, also a community manager. She's not in the comic itself, kind of. Brooke and Izumi do appear in the comic itself. You'll see them in the first mission. They're in a manga, a really crappy love romance book that Cena's obsessed with, where the characters are now Brock and Isabella, and it's clearly just them in like crappy costumes. It's intentionally made like Shakespearean, cheesy, crappy, and on purpose.
Right.
It's just kind of a universe gag. But that one has Izumi on it in the battle damaged Viking outfit. Azura Stella is there in Sally's outfit. Azura's a friend of ours. She's a guest Fox girl with us.
Oh, okay.
And my own horrible interest. The bottom character right there is the representation of me. That's a little rogue fox.
Down here.
Yeah, it's because I think everybody self-inserts to an extent. I was like, I don't want to be like. There's some YouTubers I like that are funny, but their character for themselves is like a big buff, crazy, scary. I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel that way. What if he's just a literal fox? Like, when you go to on the left there, I think there's one for like a message from Isaac. Yeah, a message from Isaac Fox. Like that fox. Like there's me. I'm just the fox, a little fox. It's fine.
Oh yeah. Where is it?
On the left there. Right
there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's a representation for me right there. That's as far as I go.
There you go.
There you go. That way, it's not like some crazy power fantasy. It's just cute, and I think I'd rather things be cute than anything else.
Well, I mean, it plays into, you know, your brand.
Funny enough, I have so many artists I work with. They go, "Hey, do you want to do a furry piece next?" I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, you like furries, right?" I'm like, "No, Isaac Fox is furry." Like, no, it's my name. I just leaned into it, but it's my name. It's actually a pretty common name. Actually, it's a Welsh name. It's pretty common, actually.
Right.
You don't hear it as much maybe over here, but it's not an unusual name. Like, no,
right.
It's not quite that, but we will give you furries if you want them. It's fine.
I mean, if that's what the audience wants, you know,
we will give you what you want. If we can do it, we'll do it.
Speaking of cooking, you know, Tank says, okay, back to cooking, like, share, and stay magnificent. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Tank. Appreciate you being here, man. And we'll leave you with the cooking Oni.
That's what her entire thing is she has a food stall. That's when we first see her. Her chapter is an interesting one because she's not the focal point of the chapter. She does something in it that makes her the focal point, but it's not really about her. She does a thing, and then they're like, "Oh, you did this thing that helped out. Cool. Here's a new assignment for you. You're being drafted." What? Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
And the older you get, the more you will learn that is the truth.
Love even more, Feline says.
The people who are the biggest bastards seem to never get punished. That's because, yes, being a jerk means you don't get punished. Being nice is when you get punished. Don't ask me why. I didn't write the rules.
I disagree. Karma may take time. Karma may, you know, lie in wait for a while. Karma always gets hers in the end. Always.
I sincerely hope you're right. Like, I'm not arguing. I'm saying I want that to be true. I still want that to be true.
I fully believe that.
Because there are some people I would love if they just had a bad day, but I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah, you know, they'll get theirs. Because no spankings for you.
There might be some of that happening in this book. You never know.
There's like you said, there's something for everybody in this book.
It's been intentionally designed that way. Issue 0, again, each chapter is 5 chapters. How each character gets selected. The last chapter is them the first time the Manti-Corps the team comes together and being told, "Hey, your first mission is ready." And then we go to the next one, which the next mission is called the Goblin's Trap. I did not make I made Goblin plural because I had wanted to run a joke where it'd be like a femboy goblin on the cover, and I was told that I shouldn't do that, so I didn't do it. that term has mixed feelings amongst the LGBTQ crowd. It's like, okay, some love it, some hate it. Let's not step there then. And then the second
I am
mission,
completely oblivious, so it's okay. I'm okay being oblivious.
It's hard to navigate some things sometimes.
Yeah,
I kid you not. When I first did this, like, well, I want to make this book like, you know, kind of military inspired. So I reached out to my buddies in the military. I'm like, hey, do you guys feel it'd be offensive if I had sexy ladies in revealing outfits that are inspired by the uniforms you guys have worn? I want to make sure I'm not being disrespectful because I come from a military family. My father's a veteran. My grandfathers were veterans.
right.
I don't want to be that guy. My grandfather's got the Navy Cross. And every single one said, dude, we love naked chicks. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You don't care.
I mean, they used to paint them on the sides of their planes, so I would find it very funny if they were offended.
Yeah, they don't care. They can't do that anymore now because of the paint they use for planes and for radars. But that's why they can't do it anymore. The paint, it's a special paint that's put on them. It's not regular paint. It's
right.
It deals with like messing up a radar. That's like special. I forget what degree.
Really, they can't figure out how to like do special radar paint in different colors.
I think they're supposed to blend into an extent. I don't know.
I
suppose an aviation
suppose.
person, they could tell you. I don't know. I don't really know much about planes. And this universe, planes don't exist. So
Yeah.
you have harpies though, and other flying creatures you can run into.
Well, I mean, there you go. Don't need to paint a hot chick on the side of a harpy. The harpy is the hot chick. So
No, I think we could still do that. I think we could totally paint. I think that the harpy could totally be flying in a thong with a hot chick tattooed paint on her butt, and we could do that. That's doable.
there you go. I mean,
We
that'll
can make-
definitely be a throwback to the or an homage to the
Oh God.
the pinup girls on
Now
the
I'm just
planes.
thinking of a cover of a harpy flying, and she has the on the inside, like, and just a thong, and the inner of her thighs has that old shark mouth they used to put on planes on the thighs coming from the crotch.
You're welcome.
Half of my job is thinking this stuff up.
Mhm.
It's I feel bad. Like, you're a comic writer. I'm like, yeah, I write like 2 books a year because I don't have time. Ideally, we'd put out 3 books a year, but what I've learned now is our campaigns have gotten so big with so many backers, which I'm beyond grateful for. I'm so touched and grateful for that. What ends up happening, like we just the first bit of this you talked to me about was Pure Intent, Mr. Suzumi. That's over 300 individually customized packages, which means every one of those packages can be different in the stuff they asked for. It has to be manually packed and inspected and sent. So it's like that takes a long time, and the print shops apparently the indie comic business is booming because the print shops are busier than ever. So now it takes us about 2 months to get the books once the files are sent in and approved.
I mean that kind of sucks, but I mean it's good that the indie comic scene is booming and the printers are busy.
It is,
because
we are seeing an interesting change in media now where the indies are hurting the big guys in video games, in movies, in animation, in comics. We're seeing that now where
That's what I'm talking about, man.
A lot of us, myself especially, I guess I don't really count as an outlier too as I do it, but we're kind of getting sick of the same stuff on loop. You can turn
people are craving authenticity, Isaac. People are craving authenticity, and they're not getting authenticity from the big guys anymore. They're getting authenticity from the indie creators that actually have skin in the game, that care about what they're doing, that love what they're doing, and that's why they're doing it.
What happens is the same thing that happens to every industry ever, and video games are suffering right now from it. People who are really into it do it, start it off and get it out there, and then a bunch of guys in gray suits show up and say, I can make money on this. And then they do, and they take that dairy cow and they get rid of all the cows but one and milk it for the worth of 100 cows, and then it sucks and we all hate it. And
they kill it.
Exactly what happens.
And then they keep trying to squeeze blood from a stone, and it becomes a zombie fucking project, property, industry or whatever. Yeah. And it sucks.
And you don't get that with us. Now, granted, in the independent market, quality varies wildly. Yes.
Sure.
That's where it comes down to spending a little bit of time looking into who you're buying it from. Like, okay, what is this person's record? Have they been around? What have they done before? What's their name attached to? You look at stuff like that. Which is why, at least for me, a pet peeve of me in Kickstarter is if I see you have created your first project and you've never backed a project, I am not backing you.
Yeah. Yeah, because it comes across as you're just here to make some money.
Yeah.
You're not really in it to be a part of the the whole indie scene.
Not only that,
you don't really
but
love comics.
With so many scam campaigns happening now, like I have no way of knowing you're not that guy because you're not participating. If I see somebody's first project where they backed like 30 projects, I'm like, well, this guy's legit. He's here.
Right.
He believes in this.
Actually cares. Yeah. 100%.
But if it's just like, oh hey guys, I got this new tech thing that does this, and I've backed nothing before, I'm like, does it really do that, or have you just found a way to AI finick this where it looks like it does that?
Yep, I agree. Well, Isaac, we've been going for 2 hours, my friend.
That.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, the time has flown by. I always enjoy the conversations we have. I love getting your perspective on, what you do in the indie scene. It is different from the indie scene that I normally, hang out in. And it's so refreshing to get a different perspective because, indie comics in general are, I've been saying this a lot. I feel like they are starting a renaissance of creativity. Like I was saying, people are craving authenticity. They're getting it in the indie sector, in the indie sphere.
Yeah, for sure.
Comic books, video games. I think we're going to see it in animation. I want to see it in movies and television. So I think it's fucking great what you're doing, man. You're providing something that people are. You're providing a product for people in a niche. You're servicing a niche that clearly loves what you're doing, man. I mean,
we've gotten lucky to have the audience that we have, and I love my audience very much.
250 backers. And still 20 days to go. That's fucking awesome, dude.
This jumped up a lot more than I told my server before this launch, like, guys, I want you to know, like, this of any book I've ever done is easily the one that's got me the most terrified. Because with Suck You Busted, I can rely on the fact that people have read it. I can rely on people, Prometheus already having things to it.
Right.
There's nothing to pull this from. This is not like, this is everything else I've done. This is a total different story than this isn't a space Western. This isn't a modern day tale of sexy demons. This is fantasy. Like, how's that going to work? To me, fantasy's sexier, but that's just me. Maybe it's because I have a thing for elves and fox girls and all that kind of stuff. But like, all right, we can do that, and it was just terrifying. Like, and not only that, we put more money into this. We paid for YouTube ads. We have worked with every big name I could get to do it. It had the time.
Well, that's because you believe in this, man. You believe in what you're doing.
I love this book. It's easily one of my favorite things I've ever done, and I can't wait to do more of it. I love the characters. I love so many things we've done with it. This should not get you in trouble. They're wearing thongs. If you want the one without thongs, though, that's a secret tier in our Discord server where you get the
there you go
on them with the big booty and the still a big booty, but smaller booty than the other one. It's just that we have the opportunity with this series to do literally anything. We can have things that are straight. We can have things that are queer. We can have action. We can have violence. We can have actual sex. We can have goblin girls. We can have demi-humans. We can have harpies. We can have all kinds of stuff we can do here. The possibility
run the gamut.
Endless. The idea behind this was that it's a book that you can hop in at any time and enjoy. That is somewhat episodic. It has a full story to it, but somewhat episodic. So kind of like how Bebop did it. Bebop was episodic, but it had its moments of real story that kind of carried it.
Sure, it had overarching. Yeah,
absolutely. And kind of like where Lady Death is, where like you can just, she's wearing a shirt, you can just kind of keep going, and you can hop in anytime and have fun and love it. And that's what I wanted to be able to do.
Yep.
My goal is to be doing the Manti-Corps until my last breath, which hopefully will not be anytime soon. But hey, you never know.
Hopefully, hey, just as long as you're doing what you love and enjoying the craft and enjoying the journey as well. I think that's the best thing.
Hey man, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life because that field's not hiring.
What? Say again?
Because that field's not hiring.
Well, at least you're doing something that you clearly enjoy and that you are committed to.
It's going on 12 years now, and yeah, man.
And the book showcased that, man. But
I got lucky that I met people who were way more experienced and smarter than me. My good friend David Byrne, I'm gonna name drop him to annoy him. I back all of his books, and I read, I'm like, dude, your stuff looks so professional. My stuff looks indie. The Manti-Corps is part of this new phase of us making things look more professional, stepping into a more to kind of meet up with industry standards without sacrificing what we do. So it's going to be, like future books. The page after the cover will have credits on it, not just go straight into the art. Things like that. Small things like that.
Yeah.
Nothing that will sacrifice the book. We don't sacrifice integrity here. We're not.
No. Quality over quantity, man.
What are we? Ubisoft? Yeah. We don't do that here.
No, not at all. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Is there anything else that you'd like to say real quick before we say goodbye to the audience?
Yeah. Thank you. Like, this book has gone so well. I don't even know where to begin, man. This is crazy. Like, I didn't know this would do as good as it did. Will there be a backers page? I stopped doing those because, here's how this works. When you do a book, to print it, the number of pages must be divisible by 4. So if I add in 1 page, I have to then add in 3 more to
make it balance.
Which means I either have to take away a story page and make the story less complete, or B, increase the price of the per book in order to make up for the now expensive cost of adding in more pages from the artist and printing the books and the added weight for shipping the books. So I stopped doing backers pages a couple of years ago because of that. That being said, you guys do get the exclusive stuff. So like the red and green cards, the stretch goals, most of the covers no longer reprint. We're not reprinting most of them anymore, outside like the A cover and a couple of the ones that are pretty popular. Like the early Fox special, that's done. We're not doing it. Like medals and foils, no, those don't come back. Those are done. You get that. That's just to you. They're never coming back again. The trading cards, that kind of stuff, the metal cards, those will come back. That's just for you. So while there's no backers page, backers do get a ton of exclusives you can't get anywhere else. And I have seen them on eBay selling for good prices before. So I guess somebody's having some fun with that.
Wow. I mean, that just shows that there's a market for the stuff that you're making, man.
Again, all I can say is thank you for supporting it. Give it a chance. $5 get you the digital basic. Just give it a chance. I think if you like sexy ladies, if you like anime and manga, and you like high fantasy, I think you're really going to love this book.
Absolutely.
Way, I love this book, and I've read each chapter about 100 times by now. And I still want to read it again. Usually by the 5th, 6th time, I'm like, okay, I've read it. I know everything by now.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're enjoying it, then the audience is going to enjoy it as well. And that enjoyment always comes through. So everybody hit that link that Feline has dropped in the chat here so you can go grab a copy of this book. Support independent comics. Support what Isaac Fox is doing here with Astral Ticket. I guarantee you're going to find something that you will enjoy. Isaac, thank you so much for coming to hang out, man. This is always a blast, man. Really enjoy our conversations. Absolutely, man. And audience, chat, you guys are amazing. And remember,
shop smart, shop S-Mart.